number. You'll get on the streets. Yeah.
So
Then accept it. No, it's just a ghetto-y mall. But if you went there, like, 50% of the time, as you pull in, you're walking towards the mall, someone like pulls up on you and tries to sell you like
Oh
fucking
yeah.
cologne or some
Yeah.
shit.
Hey, does this smell like chloroform to you?
or or speakers. That was a big
Was it?
weird scam. Was like a brand of speakers you'd never heard of, but it looks like really shiny and cool.
That's what Timu is now, but on like a large scale.
What's that?
Unverifiable quality, but the deal is so good you have to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
like
it's
that
good.
Wish.com seemed
Same
like that.
same deal, yeah.
So weird.
Sometimes you get fucked. Sometimes it's like really cool.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so electronics in general are like that. From the outside, it looks shiny, it looks nice, it looks legit.
Sharper image.
And then you're looking at it and you're like, dude, this seems, motherfucker, but you have no idea what's in it.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking thumb drive I found the other day cleaning out a bunch of stuff. And I was like, oh, nice, a spare thumb drive. Sick. I use these all the time. Came in here, I'm like, let me delete all the shit off of it and I can use this to bring stuff back and forth to work. I loaded it up and it came, you know how like older products used to come with like a CD of like instructions or the drivers or whatever you needed, right?
Yeah.
This came with a thumb drive and it had a paw print on it. And I was like, that's fucking weird. It ended up being the instructions, digital instructions for an electronic collar, like a shock collar that I had bought like years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. So I deleted all of it off. I'm like, nice. How big is this thing? 535 megabyte. I was like,
oh wow.
Oh, sweet. Useless.
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah.
What the
That's
fuck?
hilarious.
But it's the same thing. If I told you, like, dude, it looks just like the one that's 256 gigs. So to an unsuspecting person, hey, you want a USB drive for $2? Sure.
Yeah.
You just bought something completely useless for $2.
Dude, whenever I see a USB drive somewhere out in the wild, I'm like, what's on that? Something weird.
You know, that's like
I want to check it out, but then I'm afraid it's going to be just a virus. Yeah, because I've heard of that too.
They'll target certain facilities that they want into their systems, and they'll leave them in the parking lots like somebody dropped it.
That's pretty clever.
And human fucking curiosity will get an employee to pick that shit up, walk in there, stick it in there, and see what's on it. And they just got the whole place.
I found that one. I found like a small camera once and looked on it, and it ended up being like a cop's body cam.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But then it was like kind of gruesome. They were at like a car accident. I was like, all right, well, I don't want to see this anymore. Dude, the other day I was at a Goodwill. You made me think about this with the old technology.
Goodwill hunting.
And there was 2 employees there, clearly on meth. Which for a meth head, I feel like the Goodwill scoring that job is probably so exciting because you're like, oh, we can find all sorts of shit like ahead of time and we can flip that shit. And that's basically what was going on. And the way you knew that they were on meth, I don't know if this is gonna show up on camera, but the girl's like this. She's like, oh yeah, and the guy's just like, oh dude, look at this air filter.
Just not stop moving.
Yeah, just like in the weirdest body poses as this guy's holding up. Like, it looks like an air filter from like 1990, just piece of shit. And he's just convinced that this is so. Yeah, I saw another couple back there. Like, oh, dude, this is what's up. It's like,
yikes.
Yeah, and it's just like Goodwill. So like, I don't think they're gonna have a manager talk to them or anything. They're just like, yeah, that's Jimmy.
Do you know that Goodwill, they hire
ex-cons and homeless?
Retarded people.
Yeah, well.
No, like legitimately 70 IQ or below. They'll hire them, and the family members of the people, like if you have a fucking son with Down syndrome, they can get a job.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool, right?
Yeah.
Until you find out that they've also worked it with the federal government so that they can subsidize their pay, not subsidize to like get the government to pay for it, but say we can pay them the equivalent to how much they provide the company in worth and value, which is apparently not much to them.
Determined by.
So, right.
Right.
Determined by Goodwill themselves. So they were paying
Yeah.
people like 37 cents an hour.
Oh my God.
And they would
When was this?
This was a huge scandal like a few years ago.
Oh God, that's.
They found out that it was like, hey, that's not really what we meant, dude. We just meant like, if they're retarded and they're just doing like minimal tasks and they're fucking it up anyways, but it's a nice outlet for them. Their families like them coming and doing something. They like getting out of the house and doing something. It's good for everybody. Maybe give them like $2-3 an hour. Not 11 cents. That's a little bit fucked up.
They were probably happy.
Dude, they would work a whole month and they'd get like $8.
I bet they were thrilled.
They didn't care. They didn't know.
It's fucked up.
But dude, yeah.
I think Waffle House does the same thing. I don't know if you've ever been to a Waffle House.
I have not.
The people who work there couldn't get a job anywhere else, I imagine.
Why is that? What are they up to in there?
They're just hit up a Waffle House sometime, and
Alright.
you'll know what I
I
mean.
don't even know where one is.
Oh, they're everywhere. They're out there. You ever been to one?
No.
It's pretty gross. It's like an open kitchen. You get, I could be exaggerating because it's been a number of years, but I feel like you get like a styrofoam plate of like scrambled eggs with like American cheese on top. And like one of their specials is you get that on top of a waffle.
Sounds fucking gross.
Yeah, and it's got that like weird fluorescent light with a couple of them are flickery.
Oh, spooky house shit.
Yeah, with some like female with like kind of a beard growing in. Not because she's transitioning, just because
That's ma'am.
that's what happened.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, never been to the Waffle House.
you're missing out. It's an
It doesn't.
experience.
Well, maybe for the experience. That's probably about it.
Speaking of technology, I went down a little rabbit hole with like ChatGPT where I was kind of thinking about it. I'm like, how does ChatGPT like access its information? Like it's from the internet, but is it like Googling? You know what I mean? Is it utilizing search engines, or is it just somehow? So I'm like asking it, like, how you doing this? And what part of the internet? Like, do you go through like deep web, dark web stuff? Is that
Yeah.
part of the
Do you have
territory?
access to all of it?
Right? And it's like no. And then it started talking about, I don't know. It brought up servers, which got me curious of like, and you probably know this. I think you're a little more tech savvy than I am, but I'm just like, where is all this information being stored from the internet? It's like, oh, it's on all these servers, and a lot of like companies have their own servers. Like Google has its own servers, which is literally like a football field size warehouse filled to the brim with servers.
Every giant company that does shit like that has their own data center.
Right. And so I'm like, that's crazy. Well, how is it so reliable? And then it's like, oh, well, it puts it like close to like a power plant in an area with a relatively cool climate. A company recently put one under the ocean. I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
Is that real?
Yeah. And then I'm like, well, that seems like not the solution because we can't just be like building servers forever, right? So like, has anybody tried to find a different way of containing information, you know?
Just data storage?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. And then it's like, well, recently people have coded information into artificial strands of DNA, like a movie.
Dude, I've seen this.
I'm like, that fucking blows my mind. And like a coffee cup full of this DNA, if we had that, could contain like all human knowledge.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking blows my mind. And I can't even, I'm sitting here like just like dude on my phone with like a movie playing in the background, scratching my asshole, and some guy's coding information onto strands of DNA that he created.
Double helix
And I'm like,
formation.
that is so far beyond like what my brain is capable of. I can't it's basically magic that anyone could do something like that. Is fucking crazy.
But what's really interesting is it's not that you're that far away from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's that you never built to that.
For sure, yeah.
Like there's other things because there's a whole lot of industries where anyone looking from outside the fucking guy writing the code for that shit is gonna look at some dude who's designing the fluid system of a crane
Mm-hmm.
and be like, what? Like, how do you?
Yeah, but it just made me realize,
Or
like,
like CAD programmers that are like programming CAD designing and
uh-huh.
having a fucking machine cut something out to like a 6400th of an inch, and it's like,
In any direction of intellectual curiosity, the road has stretched so far
yeah, if you dedicate to that.
that it just, I had a ping of anxiety of like, if this shit collapsed tomorrow, like, I don't know how we're gonna get back there. You know, like it's fucking crazy.
Well, it'd be faster than the time we got there this time.
Yeah, yeah, for
It
sure.
would take less time to get there again than it took to get there.
Depending on the level of catastrophe,
No,
I guess. You don't think
nothing.
so?
No.
¿Por
As
qué?
long as someone knew that it did exist, that would propel it quicker than having to come up with it and then find out how.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
cut a step out.
I
Your
would.
body does the same thing. Like bodybuilders who take a lot of time off
Mm,
to get back to where they were, maybe it took them 10 years to lift a certain weight. And then they could take 10 years off. And to get back to that point
yeah,
that took them 10 years, they could do it in a year.
that's crazy.
It is fucking weird.
Yeah, wow.
But just even outside of the physical like limitations and stuff of our body, you can just imagine. They even say that shit about science. If as soon as we dream it up or it becomes a fucking piece of a movie, they're
Yeah,
going to make it.
it's pretty amazing how much science fiction has given rise to technology.
Yeah.
But I always have this like little fantasy imagination of like I'm time traveling backwards in time 500 years and trying to help people
Mm.
innovate and like explain what we have, and I can't.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we got this stuff. Look, how does it work? I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea how half this shit works. And some of it I can describe so like clunky, but
Yeah.
even as I'm describing it, I barely know what I'm describing.
I think about that stuff just because, like, having the business and like knowing how to make power. I know how to create power.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to transfer power from batteries to run all these appliances and things we have, from 12 volt DC to 120 volt AC power.
Yeah.
But I require pieces of equipment to do that.
Yeah, you can only move forward, not backward necessarily.
Well, and I can't make that piece of equipment. So if everything hit the fan, it's like, cool, I just go start that generator and I know that that's going to put out this so I can use it.
Yeah.
Or I got all these batteries and stuff laying around. I'll be able to power stuff until it breaks.
Yeah, invent those batteries.
And then I open it up and there's a circuit board in there and I'm like,
Cool.
shit. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
What happens then?
Do you know how a microphone works?
Slightly.
It's really interesting, and I basically don't know. But like the original, like I want to say it was like Thomas Edison had like a wheel of wax attached to like a phonograph cone and a needle in that wheel, and then he would spin it with a crank and like, whoa, just like say stuff into it, and then realize that if he played it back, like that needle in those grooves would replay what he fucking said. And that's essentially what the technology still is, but instead of the needle, it's it's like a magnet detecting like the vibrational tones
Yeah.
coming in, digitizing that.
Yeah, it goes
And
through.
you see the wavelengths. Everybody's familiar with that. That's the same as the grooves on the wax.
Yeah. We were just looking
That's
this up the other
fucking
day because
crazy.
Kenzie has a record player.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, how the fuck does it,
Right?
no matter where I drop the needle on the record, it starts at the beginning of that song. How's that possible?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know the answer to that, but I'd like to. So you just found yourself a little homework assignment.
Yeah, hell
Go
yeah.
find out and then teach me about it.
Fuck yeah.
And
That's
yeah.
awesome.
But we were talking about something at work the other day too, where it was sound powered phones.
Sound powered?
Phones. We had them in the Navy.
What?
It's like the really advanced version of pulling two fucking tomato cans together with a piece of string between them,
Uh-huh.
how the vibration does
Yeah.
it. Well, the vibration of your voice into one end of the phone can go down to these rectifiers and be amplified through like almost like piezoelectric, like when you click something and it makes the spark in the
Uh-huh.
lighters. It was the same kind of technology, I think. And it amplifies the sound and then runs it across the cord and comes out on the other side of another phone. So if you had no power, no nothing, and you pick that phone up, like the ship is completely dark, nothing's making power, you got hit by a missile, it took out everything,
Over what distance?
any. You just,
What the
it would have to be designed for that distance,
Right, yeah.
for the whatever components that magnify the sound would have to be adequate, right,
Mm-hmm.
to put the sound out that hard again. But you could do it over any distance and to any location. Like
That
you could
blows my
pick it
mind.
up. I think there's also like security issues, but it's like emergency use only type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you pick it up, and I think anybody that was attached to that would hear what's going on.
That's crazy.
But they used to put them in the ships in the Navy. They'd put them like in really really needed places for emergency stuff, like medical, firefighting lockers where they're trying to tell people where to go to fight fires. All of those places had them, so you had like little headquarters that were all attached to this phone system, and you could make calls with no power, no nothing.
Now, does it ring or is it just continuously on and someone has to be around to hear it?
I don't remember
Right.
the
I imagine it
logistics,
probably.
but
That's so
I think you
crazy.
just pick it up and it's working if someone's using it or not.
That's super cool. I still don't understand it.
No, they're describing it, and I know
I get the
things
description,
about
but I couldn't.
transformers and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I couldn't
Cool.
make it. I don't know how to fucking do that,
Yeah,
but they work with nothing, no power, no nothing.
that's insane. Yeah, technology is insane. It's come a long way.
It's it's so weird though because technology has come so far that we've forgot the basics of stuff now.
That's kind of what I was trying to get at.
Oh, okay.
Is like,
Like we're gonna get so far that we're like, oh shit, if we lose that, we don't even know how to start over. Is that what you were getting at?
yeah, because we only know how to, like you were saying, start utilizing the components that are already pre-made.
Yeah. Like, oh, I know how to make that piece. We just use this robot to make this chip.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens when you don't know how to make the robot anymore to make the chip?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, I don't know who's keeping that information, but hopefully they're doing good record keeping because,
I would think about that when I was a cook, like, and I was trying to make something from scratch, and I look up a recipe and it's like use a cup of mayo. I'm like, well, how do you make mayo? And that's its own rabbit hole.
it's like
But there's a lot of
eggs
recipes
and all
that
kinds of
like
shit.
the components of the recipes are different already put together things, so it's like that's
Yeah,
fucking weird.
you have to really go down and break everything down to its elements.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, so I've come to the conclusion lately. What's the name of the podcast now?
Luminary 30s
Luminary.
or liminal
Liminal. Yeah, I was
liminal
like, that doesn't
30s.
sound right to me.
I keep saying luminary in my own head too. I'm like luminary. No,
Liminal
liminal.
30s. I am for a while I was like, oh, it's just my algorithm feeding me what I'm interested in. But now I'm finding it outside of social media. I'm finding it outside of
The word?
no, the concept that people are changing
Oh.
in their 30s now.
Mm-hmm.
The more fucking people I talk to and I'm open with,
Yeah.
dude, it's like opening a floodgate and people just can't wait to start talking about it. But they're all making changes that are difficult
Yeah.
emotionally.
It's a pivotal time. And then when I was like considering the concept, I start, I'm looking up like there's a famous psychologist who has like done a lot of research through like basically stages of human development and like what does this guy say about the 30s? And it's like, yeah, it's like this transition period.
But things specifically are happening that I'm interested in because I somehow just stumbled into doing them. And I thought I'd be like alone. I thought I'd be like, I don't bet there's not many people like thinking like this or doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I just keep finding more. The more I dig, the more I find, which is obvious. But I thought at some point the digging would get a lot harder with less and less finds between. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And all of it is surrounding the idea of mental growth and healing internal traumatic events from childhood
Yeah.
that prior to this point we were completely unaware of why we were reacting to things the way we were. I've never even heard this concept from other adults that are much older than me
Mm-hmm.
until recently. That's why this whole phenomenon is really freaking me the fuck out. Because I was trying to figure it out for myself. Something's wrong. Something's off. Why do I act like this? Why did that trigger me? Why did I get so upset?
Mm-hmm.
And it just having to ask that question because you don't like how you're treating people around you was one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you start looking for it, and then you find it, and you're like, oh, okay, I found some people discussing it. Great. I found some people studying it. I found all these things, and then you just concentrate on that niche, you know. And it ended up my algorithms on all my Facebook views are fucking just funneling me into this shit. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then I learned a bunch more stuff about it, and then I burn. But then everywhere around me in real life, I'm running into people that are all doing the same thing. How is that possible when this was just never even on my fucking radar until now? But now a shitload of people all around me are all trying to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is like some of the stuff that makes me think about like collective consciousness. I think that's truly a thing.
Oh shit.
And also if it's like ends up being people of our age group, like we are examples of people of our generation, and in the same way that like we were just talking about the evolution of technology, like we're kind of riding this wave of technology where we don't really understand what came before it, but we utilize it and move forward.
Yeah.
And same in like the mental health landscape, right? Like,
I guess that's
I
true.
guess,
If this wasn't a problem that was on anyone's radar,
yeah,
until it becomes on someone's radar and they're like, wait, I have that too. Wait, why am I doing that?
yeah,
And then everybody's kind of figuring it out together and we all just kind of funneled into this path.
yeah,
Something has to be happening like that because I'm on a lot of fucking podcasts, a lot of stuff with things that I find really interesting that people are talking about and people that we've talked about before, but a lot of their stuff was business related
yeah.
or something other than what I was interested in now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I find like a couple doctors that keep reappearing in places.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, it's that guy again who had some really profound shit to say about this space of mental health growth and like doing all this stuff, personal stuff. And then I started seeing them on the other podcasts of things I've already seen,
Sure, yeah.
but it's not on that subject, but now it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like this whole fucking thing is taking over. And eventually, everyone's going to get on board with this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and more, especially as like AI is rising. I mean, the more I think about it and the further it goes and how quickly it's moving, it's kind of stressing me out a little bit. I
Why?
think because I think things are going to get bad for a while before it like gets better.
Why? I'm kind of seeing that it's getting better for everyone everywhere who's willing to do the work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's going to be like this. Eh, eh,
What
you
do you think
know?
the drop is?
The drop is the period of like mass implementation
Of
of AI as it becomes more and more utilizable and accessible by virtually every industry. All of a sudden, like people are gonna start losing jobs in mass, or people's lives are going to become a lot simpler and assisted to a point where they feel an immense void and don't really know what to do with this. Maybe they have extra time.
that's where we need to be.
That is where we need to be, but
That's where
but
we
it's going to
came
be a
from.
dark place.
It's going to be an adjustment. I guess that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's going to be a down and then an up.
Yeah. There's going to
But
be
that's
a
fucking life.
there's going to
Everything's
be a
goddamn
moment of like,
down and an
fuck,
up.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
And then that's the transition period, which metaphorically that's kind of like what this podcast is about, like navigating that trench.
Yeah. I just find it fucking weird that I just like keep seeing it everywhere and more people, even people I've been watching for years who have never hinted at this at all, now have the same doctor talking about the shit that I just found 6 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's on all of these podcasts. I'm like, what? How does this keep happening? Why are people falling into the same information and finding it so fascinating?
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe I'll edit this part out, but like, it makes me think
Black people.
racism rules. Um, it just really clicked in my head of like when that kind of clearly became what we're doing. I felt a lot more confident because I'm like, oh, like before we had like a solid direction or like audience, or it was all kind of like we're doing a podcast and we kind of know what we're talking about, but I kind of felt like full of shit. Like, who's gonna listen to me? What do I have to offer?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm just talking about like navigating that the liminal space of your 30s, I'm like, oh, you know what? I feel like I'm can be an authority now, like in that realm because I'm in it, you know. And I feel like I could have a lot of good things to say for people in my position who like had a big dream, probably like an artistic dream, pursued it for a long time, didn't turns out they're not part of that 1%, you know, and like now they have to figure it out, like figure something else out.
Not only just people that are appealing in real time to that, like, oh, I just did that too. That's cool.
Yeah.
But people that are about to do that.
Right.
They're researching whether or not the juice is worth the fucking squeeze.
Exactly.
And they're like,
Yes.
well, this guy tried it. He was not the 1% of the 1% of the
Right.
1. He was not fucking Post Malone.
Right.
And that's going to be expected to happen here and there.
Yeah. And I still I don't want to get off too much of a tangent, but I have a lot to say, you know, on that front, and I part of me wants to like dispel this like dream pursuit, not discourage it, but give like somewhat of a reality check.
Yeah.
And say like there's still, just to highlight the fact that there's still immense value that comes from the pursuit,
I think
even if
this
you
is,
don't get to that
yeah, you may not have
destination that you
ended,
imagined,
right. You may not have got to the finish line that you thought you were getting to.
but you also got value you didn't expect. So
That's
it's
I've been trying to explain that to people now being back at work,
mm-hmm.
and everybody's like, "Oh, like how's the business going? What's going on?" I'm like, "I closed it." Oh my god, man, I'm so sorry. Why?
Yeah.
Blockbuster closed.
I know, failures.
Netflix will eventually die off. Amazon
Yeah.
will go away. You have to adapt to times, and sometimes times either don't move in the same direction as the idea you had,
Mm-hmm.
or you are not equipped at the time where you need to evolve in order to do so effectively. So what does that mean? Does that irrelevate everything that I did for the last 5 years? No. I learned all kinds of shit that I can now put into motion in some other direction. This
Yeah.
being one of them. I learned a lot about camera stuff, fucking audio equipment, all this shit. That's like saying every time that I had to do a house project and I had to buy another tool, and then, oh, well, that was the last time I used that tool. I guess that was a waste to buy that thing. Why? It still sits in the drawer. It still came in handy to cut all these boards to fucking decorate this place that we made for this thing.
It's still the preparation
It's
ready
a culmination of all the stuff that you're ever going to do.
And I remember hearing when I was young, people saying clichély, like, oh, it's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.
And it is very cliche, but
it takes you into your mid-30s to realize, like,
oh, it truly is. Like, the destination is basically meaningless in lots of ways, you know? At least by comparison to, like, what's gained from the actual journey.
The destination is the carrot that you dangle to do the work. It's the motivation
to walk the path,
to fucking just take another step.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But it's not leading to where you think it is.
Absolutely not.
You're going to make a goal and you're going to start and you're not going to get there. Not because you didn't accomplish the goal, but because by the time you realized what you were doing and where it was going and the things that outside of your control in life, you found another path along the way that was like, that's fucking cool too. I'm going to try that.
Well, it also doesn't exist. Like whatever you are envisioning, that's your imagination. It's you're very sweetly editing out all the difficult, trying, tedious, unlikable parts of that, and you're just framing, the like literally a moment of wonder. Like if I was a kid, when I was a kid imagining a music career, I'm imagining, oh, imagine like me on a stage performing in front of like 10,000 people. How cool would that be? That's literally a moment of that lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just totally not addressing everything it took to get there and like what a commitment to that kind of a life even means.
Or whether you'd like all the background shit
Right.
that it takes to keep that going.
All the sacrifice
Most people
required.
don't.
Yeah, exactly.
They start fighting with bandmates, or that's now you're on a fucking tour bus 300 days a year and you don't see your family. You can't have a family. You never made a family.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't have a functional, healthy romantic relationship with anyone because you're basically like a soldier that's always like,
Yeah, you're just
on
deployment
Yeah.
24/7. Yeah.
For like 10 years, a lot of these people. It's just,
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think the coolest part about life is when you finally hit that point where you realize that all of those lows you can reframe into an exciting time where you get to go through a challenge that you know is going to make it better on the outside. Like, did we talk about that when Ivan got stung by the bee?
I think so.
Every time he gets hurt and he really starts freaking the fuck out about it, I'm like, hey, it's just another bee sting.
Yeah.
And it had like bring him back to like, remember the last time you got hurt and you thought, there's no possible way I'm going to make it out of this.
Right.
This is death. Right
Yeah.
here. The stinger in my toe. It's over.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't.
Yeah, you could say the same about heartbreak.
Every fucking thing.
Yeah.
Dude. Kevin Gates always talks about like how I can't wait for the next time for somebody to break my heart. He used to fucking be so distant.
I'm gonna write so many songs.
He used to be so distant and not accepting of people in. I'm not gonna give you the real estate to be able to hurt me with something. And now it's just like, fuck it. You can't even. One of his songs is "Disappoint Me." Like, you can't hurt me. You can only disappoint me. He's at that point now where it's like, you don't have control over my emotional state anymore. Only I hold that power because I refuse to give it to you anymore.
Right.
But I could be disappointed that you're like, oh, really? You're that fucking kind of person.
Not
that
what
sucks.
I thought it was.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
But you get past the point where you're almost like ready to dare people to fuck you over. Because you just want to see.
Yeah.
What are you made out of? And it takes that vulnerability to go that far and see. But a huge thing for me too is just being good with yourself and not relying at all, 0 fucking % relying on external validation for anything is a fucking game changer. Because no one controls the power of anything about you anymore. It's over.
Yeah.
They can't do it. Do I get upset like other people? Sure. But my return to baseline is so fucking fast now that it's almost meaningless every time I get to that point.
And who is accountable for that frustration changes? It's like, because when you're younger, you still have those emotions, but it's that person's problem. But now it's like you still have those emotions, but that's on me.
Yeah,
you know what I
I
mean?
need to go solve that.
Yeah.
Why do I feel this way? Oh, maybe I need to change that piece so that this doesn't happen again. Not, you can't control other people. All you can control is yourself. So if I'm relying on, I need to make sure you don't do X, Y, Z because that'll really hurt me. Why don't I find what's really going to hurt me? Take some time, dig it the fuck up and examine it and be like, why does this hurt me?
Right.
How do I fix this? How do I not be hurt by this anymore?
Exactly.
How do I communicate better with everyone around me to ensure that you don't hurt me? And if you choose to anyways, guess what? You're no longer part of this.
Right, yeah.
You're out of the fucking journey. You're not allowed here anymore. And being able to do that, if you seek external validation, you can't fucking do that. You don't have the strength to kick people away from you because you think you need them to tell you you're good
Yeah.
in order to be good.
Yeah, and if that's your pursuit, you're just living a life that's like everything you want is unachievable, basically.
It looks achievable, but
Right.
it's only achievable if someone wants to give it to you.
Right.
Who the fuck wants that?
Right.
Hey, you want to start up a business with me, and then if it makes it, hopefully I'll give you some stuff.
Yeah.
No, I want to be in control of if it makes it, I'm making something for myself.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, it's the most elementary and fundamental fucking thing. But for some reason, I stayed stuck in that for 30 plus years of like, well, if you don't think it's cool, I better re-examine, and I'm probably not cool. Whatever I'm doing is not cool.
Mm-hmm.
What a fucking
But with
situation.
all this in mind, um, what do you think? Do you think that we should have some type of a formulaic flow to the podcast where we touch on different things? Should we come into it with a topic in mind, directing?
No.
We should
Well,
just,
I think we can have prompts.
because it will.
We talked about
We
that.
will just, yeah, we will just talk about all that stuff because it's relevant to us.
And that's what's changing, and what we seem to be most interested in right now
Mm-hmm.
is that phase of our 30s right now where everything's changing.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to get this whole like no longer like I don't care, when they always say like you got to stop caring about what people think.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that for 30 years and was like, how do you do that? There's no fucking roadmap to do that. But if you can introduce new concepts to people
Yeah.
that make it make sense,
Right.
like taking away the power that someone has over you
Right.
by becoming confident in the things that you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and even then it's like it's harder to do than it is to be said. But once you found it, you found it, and you're like, oh shit,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
everyone's out. Fuck you guys. You have no business being here in my area of
Yeah.
my mental game that I control now. So it's good to go. And that
Mhm.
gives you the power and the strength to start doing other things that normally you'd be like, well, I don't know if I should ask this because it might end up really bad, or they get pissed or whatever, and I don't want them to be mad at me. And then what if that was wrong to say, and then they're upset with me, and then that means I was wrong.
Mhm.
I'm not fucking wrong. And I want to find out, is this a relationship worth having, or are you going to freak out when I ask you this? And then I determine right there, oh, cool, found the line.
Mhm.
You're not what I'm looking for. That was the shift. From I hope I'm what they're looking for
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
I hope you're what I'm looking for.
Mhm. Yeah.
Dude, that whole fucking thing, professionally, emotionally, developmentally,
For me,
friendships, family, if you want to be part
Yeah.
of my fucking life, you better qualify yourself.
yeah, that became a huge shift for me romantically, because that was my
Dude.
thought process young. Like, I hope I'm good enough for this girl.
I
And a
lived
lot
like
of
that.
men are like that. And then when you shift and go, wait a second, I'm a person of value too. Like, I hope they're good enough for me.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it really
and to
puts you.
believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the biggest thing, is like, I have these ideas. I know I'm worth something.
Mhm.
Let me prove it to you.
And it can be a little humbling too, because it's like, well, what am I worth? What do I deserve? Like, this fantasy person in my head who like has all these qualities that I don't even have myself, or maybe somebody that like is a little bit more on my level, you know?
I heard a fucking cool ass quote the other day, like on this same topic, and they were like, make me a list of 10 things that you want in a partner that would make them a good partner.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay. And they wrote the list down. I'm like, go ahead and read them.
Yeah.
And they're like, how many of those things do you have?
Exactly. Yeah.
And they were like 5. Cool. So before you should be expecting to get your fucking dream person,
Yeah.
you need to become your own dream person. And then you'll be attracting the mate that meets all of that criteria.
Exactly. Are
Why
you
the
gonna?
fuck would someone with the 10 things be looking for someone with 5?
Why would a company hire you with none of the necessary skills?
Right.
You know, right? It's the same idea. Yeah.
So, but
Exactly. And it seems so fucking obvious.
but for some reason you never even conjured it up.
Yeah, never did it cross my mind. Yeah, and I think that we're really well positioned, because I remember, when you and I first started talking again, we were texting, I was still in Jersey, and you had mentioned like you know, there you heard somewhere like someone describe how there's two separate paths someone can take in their 20s. Like they can just, pursue experiences, or they can pursue like stability, like future stability. And I think that we do a good job of representing each of those alternate paths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what made this whole thing
And a
interesting.
really interesting, it's interesting how even though there's that completely separate directions, that there's all these intersecting points where we've come to the same conclusions down these separate paths,
Yeah.
or reached, or yeah, conclusions about what are our highest values on those separate journeys, and how did that come to us, and what did that mean for us, and yeah.
That collective consciousness thing, like you just said.
Mhm.
And I think we've talked about it before a few times where it was just like truth. Like
Mhm.
just what would be the word? Not objective truth. Like does that describe it? Just like
Self-honesty. I don't know.
everybody wants
Truth
to
is such
believe
a
that
diluted word.
right, and they think well, what I think is the truth.
Mhm.
Is it?
Right.
Or are you conveniently not looking for things that would dispel your truth?
Right. Yeah.
Because if you're not in pursuit of the actual truth, you're not looking for that. You're not looking for the peace of mind. You're looking for your peace.
It's really frustrating when I it was frustrating when I realized what truth, the depth of that concept for me, and then the dramatic increase of value that became. And then if I'm meeting someone for the first time, like, what do you look for in another person? Like, honesty. Ask someone if they're honest. They're always going to say yes. Most of the time, everybody's out there thinking that they're honest
If somebody
without
asked me that,
understanding the complexity and depth of that word.
yeah,
It makes it seem like it's not a great word.
I would sit there. My answer would not be quick,
Mm-hmm.
and it would not be yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like, hey, I would like really try to be
Yeah.
as honest as possible. But that opens you up to,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, someone right next to you might say the same thing, but their level of what they could achieve in the honesty realm is 50% of what you might.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, that's fucked. That's not even close.
Yeah. It's tough to. It's a tough trait because like it's such a mystery when you encounter someone new. Like, what level of honesty are you?
Yeah.
And that's where like humility really helps. So if I ask someone how honest are you, and they said, I try my best, but
Well, what's your best?
well, the fact that they said they try already makes me trust them a lot more than someone who's certainly like, absolutely, I'm
Oh, for
totally
sure.
honest, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's that conviction that makes me skeptical.
Fuck yeah.
So like, the honest people are the ones that are pretty like forward about their their own human frailty, and inadequacy.
Yeah. Understanding that they are not that great.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot just to know that and admit it.
Yeah.
There's a guy at work right now. He's a contractor, so he's going to be there for a couple months and then he's going to leave. But he came into the shop and then they had some positions open still and he applied for them. And dude, everything that this fucking guy says, everything that comes out of his mouth is just how awesome he is at this, and like, oh, I'm a shoe in for this position, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so great, and like, dude, I've been doing this 10 years. Like, just the ego that's there is fucking disgusting.
Well, and it's an immediate, now that I'm older, that's a person I would not hire. I would not
Yeah.
spend time around because,
Everyone in the shop was telling the leaders, don't give that fucking guy an interview.
yeah,
Don't leave this to chance that HR ends up saying, like, yeah, sure, your experience lines up. We don't want to fucking work with them. Luckily, there's a test you have to take out there.
mm-hmm.
Um, it's called the MASS test, MASS. It's like mechanical aptitude something something.
Yeah,
SS, you get that? Something something.
yeah.
Not as impressive
It's
as I thought you'd be.
mass, by the way.
No.
No, I'm kidding. we pronounce it Maz.
Um, So he was saying like, hey, yeah, I put in for the position, so I got to go take that test. And I was just sitting there like, hey, do you know about the test?
Mm-hmm.
Because while it seems like it's just a fucking mechanical aptitude test, when I had to take it and a different one, there's a MOS and there's a POS. One is for being an operator, like operations, to work in operations, you have to take the POS. It's identical to the MOS, but it has extra sections. So
Mm-hmm.
it's more. I had to take that one first for my first job at the plant. Then when I transferred into maintenance, I had to go take the MOS. And when I took the MOS, I was like, this is the same fucking test. So I literally, like, it was 30 minutes for reading comprehension. But just because I took the other one 6 months ago, I just started reading through the answers and remembered what my answers were, and I just answered all. I didn't even have to read the passages. So I just laid my head down and was like sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes in, and the lady comes over. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I'm done."
It's a very serious test.
Yeah, I was like, I'm done." She's like, "You can't be like, go back and check your answer." I'm like, "I'm good. I already did this." Like, I know. You could tell that there's so many failures from people that think like that they're
Yeah.
like, "Dude, you're a fucking moron."
Yeah.
Anyways, so I knew what was on it, and I studied for it because that was the fucking only thing that got me a job coming out of the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
So I flew down here, and it was like an $800 plane ticket to fly down here to take this test to see if I would even have a job and be able to
Right.
get out of the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot riding on this fucking thing. So I
Yeah.
call my stepdad, who worked at the plant and had to take the same test years ago. And I was like, hey, I'm coming down. I got to take this. Would you pick me up from the airport and like let me borrow your car to go take the thing and then drop me off or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
just help facilitate the whole thing. And he was like, oh shit. He's like, yeah. He's like, have you looked it up? And I was like, no, I have no idea what's on it. I'm just going to go. He's like, do not roll in there fresh, not knowing fucking what to expect. You will fail.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't want to freak you out, but it has like a 90% fail rate. I'm like, what? This is what I'm basing my fucking next piece of my life off of? 90% fail? Holy fuck. So he's like, hey, go on this website and look for the practice test, and it's pretty similar. So if you can do all this stuff on the practice test, you should be very well equipped to go in and do it. Um, so I remember like setting it all up. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it legit. It's 2 minutes for the math section is what you get. So all right, I'm gonna print all this shit out from the test. I'm gonna flip it over, not look at it. I'm gonna set my thing for 2 minutes. I'm gonna flip it over and do it like it's gonna be done, right?
Right.
Boop, hit the button, flip it over. First question I see, I'm like, flipped it back over, stopped. I was like, you gotta be fucking.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I was like, oh fuck, dude, it was like dividing with decimals.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is not hard. I just haven't seen that since sixth fucking grade.
Right.
So I was like, all right. So I flipped it back over and started just scanning through it. Like, I don't remember the steps to do that. Went and looked it up. Whatever, right? Long story short, I fucking passed the test because I looked. But if I didn't look,
Mm-hmm.
can you imagine how much fucking immediate test anxiety you would have if you flipped it over and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Had no idea that was coming.
It's just get up and walk.
And
out.
it was just so simple. It's like that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And you're like, well, yeah, but that doesn't mean I've used all the same shit that they're using right now,
Right.
on short-term recall.
Yeah.
So I just tried to throw this guy a bone. And I was like, hey, did you look it up? Oh, yeah, dude, I took the pre-test, aced it. I'm a fucking shoe-in. You guys will be lucky to have me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, good luck, dude. He failed.
Of course.
Fucking douche dick motherfucker. So
But yeah, you reach a point where it's like, if you're someone who's a hard worker, and you're good at what you do, you know that you don't have to say anything about it.
yeah, you smell the bullshit.
It will become obvious quickly as you do your job.
And you take pride in not ever saying it.
Exactly.
You start loving that
You don't gotta be
so
your own
much
hype
more,
man. Yeah.
where you just do it and what is that? You under promise and you over deliver.
Right.
That is the most satisfying thing ever, when I'm the new guy in the room, people are going to be watching, let me make my actions speak for it.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say shit. I'm going to be super humble, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do that coming back in. I was gone from the plant for 6 fucking years. And then go back in to work an outage, and people are like, oh shit, you were like in-house, like you worked here for a long time. Like, yeah, I worked here for 8 years and then left for a while chasing this other thing that I was doing. oh, so you know all about this. I'm like, don't do that.
Right.
Don't fucking put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Like,
Yeah.
I have forgotten more shit than I learned here, probably. So while some things may be like, oh yeah, all right, it's coming back to me.
Yeah. 6 years is a while.
I was like, don't assume I know fucking anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you know so you don't have to waste your time telling me stuff. But outside of that, tell me the stuff. Because I might be like, oh yeah. And I'm running into a lot of that now where it's like, even coming back and going to be going full time there and shit again, it's like, fuck, dude, I'm a little like, there's a lot of shit to know. There's a lot of stuff that I forgot was even stuff to remember.
Yeah.
But I much prefer to tackle it like that, where it's like, dude, just treat me like I have no idea what I'm doing and you have zero expectation, and I will fill in the blanks so we can save time,
Yeah.
not having to tell me that so in depth.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, it's this, right? And then instead of saying, there's so many ways to tactfully do that,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, oh, yeah, you can even play it off like you don't remember, even if you're sure immediately when they say it. Nobody likes that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit, dude, good call. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. It's this, this, and this, right? So you prove to them, oh, this motherfucker does know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He does remember. Not, I know, I got it.
Yeah.
And then you watch them fumble fuck their way through it and totally fuck it all up, and you're like, you didn't have it,
Yeah.
and you just fucked the plant up, and you brought down a nuclear reactor. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Even massage school was similar because people would come in and think like, oh fuck yeah, I can just like
I can smush people's skin around.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's pretty fast paced. The class I was in was like, you know, half the time. It was like the accelerated one, and you have to learn. It's it's basically also like a 101 class of like physiology, anatomy, kinesiology, and you have to pass like with a B plus or higher, you know, to even graduate. And a lot of people show up and they're just like, anatomy, physiology, what the? I'm not gonna do this. I thought I was just gonna massage people, and then they just leave. And it is frustrating because when I got my first job, they're like training me as though I've never encountered this before. I'm like, I want to be like, you know, I went to school for this, right? You know, like I understand what I'm doing, and it's just like, and you learn to just, you know, keep your mouth shut because every job I have had, it's like there's this whole training process of like really obvious, like, yes, I know, but you just have to be like, oh, okay, yeah, like, yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, ego gets you nowhere. It's actually a repelling force to anybody who's
Dude, anyone
had
who's
any life experience.
yeah, or is in a similar place of where you're trying to be,
Yeah.
you're trying to bust into there.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to confuse them.
Uh-uh.
They're doing the job you're asking to do.
Yeah.
They're going to tell immediately whether you should be doing it or not,
Mm-hmm.
unless they're in the same boat you're in and just bullshitting their way through it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, fuck. I wanted to go back to, there was a, you were just talking about how you thought like, why would I be telling people what to do in this situation, or why?
Yeah, yeah. What is my,
Yeah,
you know,
because I remember one time I think you had edited one, and so you had to inherently walk it through, right? You had to watch the whole thing back through, and at one point, either you or I gave advice on something.
yeah.
God damn it! And you had expressed that you didn't think it was right to tell people what we think we should do or what they should do.
Right.
Do you remember that scenario?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't say anything because I also wanted to just let that marinate and decide, like, I wanted to look at it from your perspective and really let it sink in and be like, is that true? Do I also reciprocate that feeling of maybe it's not my place? But I didn't.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Because to me, it felt like what we're doing, in the context of how we're doing it, we will be finding the best ways to get through these things.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
by not saying that, you'd be doing a disservice. So while I totally understood, like, dude, we're not like psychologists. We're not We're not
Right.
fucking holding PhDs in this shit.
Mhm.
Where someone like Jordan Peterson is like, no, these are studied things that I went to school for.
Right.
This is facts of science and life and all these things. We don't have that, but we have the tribulations of doing it ourselves
True.
and from two vastly different perspectives,
Mhm.
and then come together and be like, that is what it was.
I think part of my thought process was like, it's really hard for me to separate. How do I word this? I've been listening to like podcasts and reading like self-help books and trying to understand a lot of this like personal growth information since like my early 20s. And so I've encountered so much of this information, and it's easy for me to presume that everything that I know everyone else already knows.
Yeah.
And so as I'm like listening to advice come from either of us, I'm remembering the 10 different people I've listened to who this is their field, and they've spoken about this a lot more eloquently, and they're also like the informational source. So I'm like, if people are looking for that kind of advice, they'll probably go to the people who that's their profession. You know what I mean? So
Can I stop you for 1 second though?
yeah.
I am 100% same thing
Mhm.
until I thought about it one level deeper.
Mhm.
If they are the source,
Then we're communicators of that, right?
where did they get the information? They pulled it from another source. If you're
Potentially, yeah.
learning about something,
Mhm.
you're just repeating and being the parrot for the generation before you that had it. You may put your twist on it. That's what I find cool about it. That's what I find is cool about what we're doing and daring to do, is to go talk about these things, but with the twist of our experience on it. But I am still regurgitating facts from people who are scholars, people who are
Yeah.
in these places, right? Same thing. You take this
Yeah.
conglomerate of information you've pulled, and as long as you're not like drastically fantasizing it or turning it into something that's bullshit along the way,
Mhm.
you're saying this is fact,
Yeah.
just as it was fact when Jordan Peterson said it,
Mhm.
and then I'm telling you how it applied to my life.
Right.
I'm showing you the way that if the scholarly way to say it, how did you say it? More eloquently, right?
Mhm.
The very factual way to say it is not getting it through. Here's what happened in my life and how it relates to that may let you understand it better.
You're right, and we've talked about that, like how framing things in certain language resonates better with certain groups of people, right? Like
Yeah.
things that Jordan Peterson have said are like mirrored by another like hippie person. They're saying the same things in different language,
One saying
completely
Bible
different
shit, the other
honest
one is saying
audiences.
spiritual stuff that's not Bible and religion.
And I'm sure if I really stuck to this idea of like, oh, I'm not an expert, therefore I shouldn't say anything, then I wouldn't say anything. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's like, well, nobody really truly is the expert,
And you're not
or
going to
there are very
please
few,
everyone. Even if you only spewed factual shit that you could look up and was true, you would still have the same amount of people saying that's bullshit, it's not true.
Sure, yeah.
Starting up the YouTube channel all over again for the solar and energy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a TikTok before, but Tiffany was like, she looked into it, and it was like if a video has 1 million views on Instagram, it'll have 5 million on TikTok because that's how many more people are on that platform.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know that. I was like, fuck, really? Like, that's crazy. So I'm like, well, if the whole game is exposure, why am I not on there? So she
Mm-hmm.
was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll make you one. And then everything you post. So I post all the shorts and stuff that I post on YouTube Shorts. She goes,
Simultaneously.
she signs into it on her device. She downloads it from YouTube Shorts. So she has it on her device, changes it a little bit, and puts it on TikTok.
But
What
yeah,
the hell were we talking about? Why did I get onto that?
we were talking about me feeling like an authority or not, and whether or not we should speak on certain things or give advice.
Oh, and I was like bringing up people are going to talk shit whether it's verifiable facts or just your
Oh, sure, yeah,
or just what you think is right.
yeah.
No matter what, you're going to get that crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hilarious because I got comfortable at almost 10,000 subscribers on the other channel that people started just taking my word for it. The channel was named after a business and you could go look that business up. Oh shit, this business has 5 stars. They've been around for 5-6 years. This guy has the authority to be talking about these topics.
Mm-hmm.
Then I start one up that's not backed by a business name. It's just fucking whoever this dude is talking. And every video I'd posted was like immediate backlash.
Hmm.
That's not how that works. And I'm just getting in these fucking 20-minute arguments on these back and forth comment sections. I entertain it because even negative interaction
Yeah.
is interaction to the algorithm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I don't care. Views is views.
Yeah.
Whether you hate me or love me, you're giving me money for that. So
Yeah.
I'll entertain it, and then other people read it, and then they comment, and it creates a
Right.
bigger environment for that,
discussion,
right?
yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. Like, you're not affecting my mood with this, so I'll just keep dragging it out as long as it takes for you to realize you are indeed
Right.
fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But it was just a very eye-opening point that because I wasn't coming from a place of authority, people no longer are as willing to just believe what I'm saying. They think they have some knowledge that's equal to or greater than yours, and they want to fucking say you're full of shit. But all that to say, you don't have to be Jordan Peterson to say something that's correct, and you'll still have fucking people that are calling you full of shit.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, I wasn't really worried about like the reaction of other people. It was more about my own comfortability when I in reflection, like speaking on a topic. It was specifically, I think, about the addiction topic, where I was just kind of like I haven't personally had the kind of addiction that I've witnessed, in my life. And I wish I would have spoke from that position more than as though I know something about that experience directly.
Okay.
You know?
And I think I wanted to bring that topic up because I had done so much looking
Mm-hmm.
into it because of the things that I was going through. When I would go through these cycles of why am I drinking a handle a week of fucking alcohol
Mm-hmm.
for 2 months, and then I finally get deep enough in the hole where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I feel horrible. I'm not working out. I gained 10 pounds. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And when you do that circuit enough times, you have to start like, I need to start finding people that know about this.
Yeah.
So I start finding these resources, and it all comes down to, hey, there is no such thing as an addictive personality. There's people seeking comfort. You have shit in your life that's uncomfortable you're not handling. Hey, this substance provides you comfort. You're now addicted to it.
I do think that there is something like, not necessarily an it might read like an addictive personality, but it's actually just impulse control.
Which is just,
Which is,
yeah. You have the ability to control that or don't.
Right, yeah. It's just
a muscle
like,
that you need to work out.
how long do you think about a thing you're about to do before you do it? If is it 0? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it you just do it? My sister is one of those people. I
But
remember,
that's not hereditary.
Yep. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's hereditary, but
Like if someone decided I'm going to turn this around,
it is like an unchecked, trait that was probably developing at an early age that didn't
for
get
sure.
addressed,
But you could sit there and be like, I need to put a lot of effort into this.
Right, yeah.
Because I didn't do it as a kid, because I didn't have the right upbringing or whatever it is.
But my sister would be at a party and someone would put a handful of pills in her hand and just yeah. That's her. Me, I'd be like, what are all these things? What is it gonna do? How do I feel about this? How's my body gonna react to it? You know what I mean? Like, some people just don't even.
You could even look at that and be like, dude, how much do you value your life?
Right, yeah.
More than the fucking person that's just like, I don't give a fuck. That's a ride I want to take.
Yeah.
Who cares what happens?
Yeah.
So it's, again, if you're uncomfortable,
yeah.
you don't care if you die.
Right.
Jelly Roll talked about that when he started doing all this weight loss shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked him, like, hey, what was the motivation to, like, start losing all this weight? Because that shit's fucking hard and uncomfortable. And, like, you obviously have never done it. You're 500 pounds.
And we liked you fat.
And he said, I finally have something to live for.
Yeah.
And it took me a minute. And it was like, fuck, dude. Like, he lived in a shitty ass place. He was ghetto. He had no money. His rap career was not taking off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did he have that was like, man, really hope I don't die tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
He had no kids. He had no wife. He had no one, anyone.
Yeah.
What would fucking matter if you got hit by a car tomorrow? So when you start living your life like that,
Yeah.
what kind of decisions are you going to make? If longevity and self-care is not even on the radar at all,
Oh, yeah.
you're going to turn into a fat fucking blob. And then as soon as he had a person that cared about him and he wanted to have kids and his career was going well and he wanted to nurture that, and then all of these things, like, why am I actively trying to kill myself?
Yeah, there is like a place for that, you know. I've had a couple periods of my life of like uh where I had a serious case of the who gives a fucks. And although they were chaotic and sometimes destructive, it also was filled with like profound experiences that I wouldn't have encountered had I not been in that place. You know what I mean? I also bumped into the things that brought me out of it. So it's an interesting, you know, part of the experience of human growth. I think a lot of people go through that where like, you know, just the floor kind of drops out from under you and you're just kind of like, fuck, I don't even care.
Yeah.
And you're driving a little reckless and maybe you start doing drugs and maybe you go, I don't know, you just start living your life a little less cautiously.
But it's also interesting that, like, if that was the thing that pushed you into doing these new things and then gave you an experience that led to something that was worthwhile now.
Yeah.
The only time it really sucks is when you died from
Right.
the
Yeah.
things it pushed you to. You were like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
And you did way too much heroin.
Right.
And you died that day.
Yeah.
Or like, fuck it, I am gonna try coke, and then you got blasted with fentanyl and you're dead.
Or you're just stuck in a yoga pose for a downward dog for an hour or two in front of the 7-Eleven.
Fuck, dude.
That's a weird ass drug.
Is that fentanyl that does that to them?
Yeah.
How do they do that? I'll see them like balancing, bent over backwards, like
Mhm.
just.
Somehow holding themselves up.
It looks hard
It does, yeah.
to. Like, how are you having the faculty to not fall over, but you can't just stand normal?
Right. Yeah.
How are those two things existing? It's like your autonomic
It's
nervous system is
super
like,
fucking
we're not gonna
weird.
fall, but like we're gonna get really fucking close.
Super fucking weird.
That shit is funny. Tiffany has an Instagram thing that she follows called Tales of the Streets,
Oh no.
and he goes around and he interviews these people.
While they're fucking posed out.
Well, you're not gonna get much out of those guys. But like the interview portions are like, hey, what's your name? Why are you homeless? Why are you on the street?
Yeah.
What drugs do you do? All this shit. You know who was fucking on there?
Mm.
Billy Bechtel from high school. Billy, and she had a twin sister, Bobby, or some shit.
Yes.
She's on there, dude. Tiffany fucking saw it and was like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Then went to his YouTube page to see the full video, watch the full thing.
Was that out here?
Mm-hmm. In Phoenix.
Oh shit.
And then Tiffany's a big read the comments.
Yeah.
I don't ever read comments. Like, what's that gonna do for me?
I don't either. My
I just
girlfriend
like,
does the same thing.
Okay, fuck it. Next
My
video.
girlfriend will spend like 20 minutes going down the comments. I'm
Dude.
like, I've never read a comment.
I've never in my life. And it pisses me off too, because I like show her a video. I'm like, oh, watch this. As soon as the video's done, she fucking pokes it on my phone.
Uh-huh.
What are you doing?
Wanna
She's like,
see
you
the
gotta read the
comments."
comments.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck's gonna be in there?
Girls like that gossipy stuff.
So, dude, she fucking went to this video, read the comments, and because everybody's like, oh my god, why doesn't her family care about her? Why is nobody helping her? Her fucking sister and her mom were in the comments saying, "We have tried. We've tried to get her help.
Yeah.
We've tried to help her with her fucking kids. We tried to send her to rehab. We
Mm-hmm.
invited her back to the house. She won't come. She
Mm-hmm.
will not do it." So I think the dude saw that and met her again on the same area of streets. And he was like, "Hey, you've been on here before. Like, let's talk about an update. How are you doing? Whatever." And he was like, "So I saw that your family was like reaching out." She's like, "Yeah, this is what I want to be doing." Holy fuck.
Yeah, I found out recently that my dad is homeless, living in his car with his crazy ex-wife.
What?
It's hard to even fathom because, like, I know very little, but I know that he was getting like a pension from the plant.
Really?
Yeah. 'Cause he was there for like 30 plus years.
Maybe got fired.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I thought that like
Somehow he was getting it because my mom was getting a portion of it too because she was married to him for a while.
mm,
And he adopted my sister's two children, which he does not like have guardianship. Well, he doesn't like actively play a large role in their life now, but legally on he's their
where
guardian.
are they though?
They're with their father now.
Oh.
Before that, they were with my grandmother, his mom. But he gets like supplementary income for that too,
Mm.
like $2,000 a month or something. And he had a job, and his job, like I guess, like the owner, out of in an act of generosity, gave everybody stocks, like $30,000 of stock in the company or something. And so he had like a lot of different sources of income. Um, Bought a house, lost the house, started renting a house, lost that house. Now he's homeless, and he also can't. He's having trouble getting into any other living situation because he was evicted.
So it shows up like when you put in for other ones, they're like,
I guess so. Like, yeah, this
it's like
guy
a
was
credit
evicted.
report.
Yeah. So that's weird. Um, I don't really know how to feel about it. I kind of don't feel anything.
I did the same thing when I was like, man, I haven't talked to. I have an older brother from my dad's side.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him share the same birthday, 9 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's kind of cool. You'd think we'd have like stuff
Yeah.
in common.
Yeah. You guys are the same sign.
Yeah, Aquarius, baby. So I reached out to him.
That's wild, by the way.
What?
Same birthday.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, that's weird. Reached out to him, and it was just zero spark of any.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, man, like, what have you been up to for 15 years that I haven't talked to you? The last time I saw him was high school graduation. They came to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left for the Navy like a few years after. And that was back when phones were not like what phones are now, where all your shit transfers over. If you didn't manually input your motherfucking contacts, you didn't have them anymore.
Yeah.
And something happened with my mom, got pissed about me using. I used too many text messages or something before it was free.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I was like annoyed that that was the last tether of like, you're not your own man yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I put both phones in a box with a check for $100 that I went over on the bill because she called me pissed off about it. Put both phones back in the box and a check for the money and fucking sent it back. Sorry for the inconvenience. It won't happen again. Sever the last tie. She lost her fucking shit, by the way.
Yeah.
That last bit of control that she had over the youngest son, like, it was fucking strange. But anyway, so that's how I lost all my stuff, my contact info and shit. I got 2 new phones for me and Tiffany, got our own plan, did our own thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have anybody's fucking number. So I did one of those lookup searches to start finding people. And I just typed in my last name and started like finding people that were related to me.
Wow.
Found my dad and my brother, the only people that I knew of. So I text him to the number that was on there, and I was like, hey, this is Nick. He's like, oh, hey, what's up? I was like, how's life and stuff?
Real busy right now.
He's like, pretty. I was like, haven't talked to you in forever. He's like, I've had the same number this whole time. Okay. Oh,
Yeah. No need for context.
my bad. This is my fault, apparently.
Oops.
So I was like, hey, like, have you talked to dad? What's going on with that? Your father is not doing well.
What's up with the
Is he
animal?
not yours anymore?
Right, yeah.
You didn't come from that as well? So I looked that up, and he was in like a Section 8 housing, like project housing in Oakland, California.
Mm.
And I like put the number in on my phone
Mm-hmm.
and sat for like a really long time deciding if everything I've built for myself is worth risking by calling this person who cannot even take care of themselves anymore.
Right.
Is that the world I want to enter? And I
Mm.
decided it wasn't.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that because, my sister, my oldest sister, has always been kind of like struggling to be the glue, because she had kids really young, and that kind of brought the family kind of together around the kids,
What's her name?
Tabitha.
Tabitha, goddamn it. I was gonna say Samantha. That's pretty close.
But she's, I've watched her as I've been growing up and she just like seemed to really want my dad to be involved in her life and the kid's life, and I was always just thinking like, why are you
Dude,
doing that to them?
this is so strange that you're
Are
saying
you
all this.
are you just teaching them disappointment? Like, um, and just keeping yourself in perpetual frustration. I didn't understand like what the whole effort was about. And then now she's like, um, she's telling me that she's trying to help him out, like trying to figure out how to get him into a home and stuff. I'm like, that's nice of you. Should I be doing something? You know what I mean? Like, and I started to kind of feel a little guilty. Like,
How much have you talked to your sister on a level where you could assess or ascertain her level of self growth and moving past all of the things that you can probably obviously see were imposed on her as a child that she has or has not grown through yet?
oh sure,
How many have you had conversations to know, like, oof,
mm-hmm,
you're fucked still?
yeah,
Is that the case?
yeah. And part of it is that she got pregnant so young and unexpectedly that like she was a very, to me, like I look at her and think like that's a really excellent mother. You know, she really devoted herself to her children, but in doing so, like herself was kind of just put on the back burner.
Yeah, she didn't have
Eh,
time to develop the tools. She was doing other things.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's only in the last maybe 5 years that it's really starting to. I can see that she's you know getting the blowback of all that because her kids are now graduating, moving out, and she's with herself, and it's like fuck.
Okay.
So yeah, I see what you're saying. Like,
The only reason I ask
mm-hmm.
is because you just described my sister, my older sister,
Oh really?
and my mother's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Of I figured it out very young.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mom's a fucking train wreck. I'm gonna not be around the train wreck.
I did the same thing.
Right. So then my sister constantly has her out at her house. Turns into a giant fucking shit show, blows up, they leave, don't talk for 6 months. Has her back out at the house,
Mm-hmm.
blows up, don't talk to her for 6. I'm like, I've been watching you do this for 20 years.
Right.
Why are you doing this still?
What are you holding on to?
And
Yeah.
I've asked her that, and she doesn't have a fucking answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's this is kind of a good segue into going into the narcissistic personality disorder, because I've been doing a lot of research on that with my most recent relationships that have fallen away or fallen apart, and examining them from a place of freedom is like shined a fucking spotlight on things, and I'm like, whoa, dude, I was in it,
Mm-hmm.
like under a spell. When they say like love is blind, you're like,
Mm-hmm.
that's dumb as fuck. Like, and then you get out of something that's like, How
Yeah.
did I not see that?
Right.
And narcissistic personalities can get you in there if you're a giver
Yeah.
and they are a taker with those traits.
Yep.
Dude, they'll spin you in a fucking web that you don't even know you're in. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, it is your fault. It's always your fault. It's always. So my mom had a lot of those traits, and my sister doesn't contain the personal wealth, like her own value system, to say no.
Yeah.
She's not making people qualify to her. She's still qualifying to them and hoping she's good enough. She's still in that.
Mm-hmm.
Due to a lot of factors. Most of it probably how she was treated growing up, being the oldest, getting fucked over all the time by my mom, who was fiddle fucking through life and just totally screwing it up, right?
Yeah.
And then I think her drug of choice is food items. She's overweight. That's not going to be good for your self esteem and making you think that anyone should like you at all. So then it just starts the cycle, right?
Yeah.
And you get stuck in it. But it's been the same way that you just described all that shit. It's like, and I had the same thoughts. Like, am I that like crazy insensitive asshole
Right.
that's not willing to entertain this?
Yeah.
But every time I look at it, I'm just like, why would I?
Right.
There's and not like, hey, I'm not willing to help out a family member in need. You don't want to fix yourself. You don't want to take responsibility for anything I'm about to tell you that you've done
Mm-hmm.
that is hurting the people around you. Well, this conversation's over.
Right.
There's nothing more to be gained here. If you were like, wow, can you tell me more about how I made you feel that way so I can go forward and fix it? Fuck yeah, let's have a conversation. That's the point where we're almost at now. And I'm like trying to
Mm-hmm.
make that bridge and find time to have her down here to do this talk on here. Because I'm just now getting responses like that of like of taking that ownership and like, dude, I was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But it took me till 60 something to realize it.
Yeah.
So,
And part of me too is like, if my dad gets his shit together, I'm all for it. Like,
right,
yeah,
that's a
let's
conversation you would entertain.
Yeah, but until
But into the signs
I don't have any belief that I'm gonna play a role in helping him get there, because
you can't.
Because I don't believe that that's how it works.
It's not.
And it sucks because I've did spend a lot of my younger life in that same position as somebody who was like a giver, crossing paths one too many times with people who were takers, and that led to like this piece of advice that I try to give people like that and remind myself of is like, if you're the kind of person who would give, anything to the people you care for, avoid people who would ask for that. Like,
Yeah, you need to be careful who you care for.
avoid someone who would ask for everything.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the kind of person you need in your life. And it's tough because I have a genuine, deep love for just people, and an acknowledgement of the common suffering of human life. I just didn't realize how I did not factor myself in that equation, like we've kind of touched on before. It was just like I was so like stuck in noticing another person's suffering that I just ignored my own.
Yeah.
And didn't factor in like how my actions would contribute negatively to myself. It took me a long time to get there. Yeah, and then now I'm just at the wash your hands of certain people.
Because you've had enough experiences now where you
Put 'em on
know
the chopping block.
I'm not going to be the one that's going to pull you out of this.
Yeah.
You have to be the one that pulls you out of this.
Mm-hmm.
When you're done doing that, or at least showing that you're doing it,
Mm-hmm.
we can have another conversation. I don't hate you. You're just not good. You're not good
Yeah.
for you. You're not good for me. You're not good for fucking anybody around you. You're a virus looking for a host.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to be the host. I don't need any more worms. I got that shit on my own.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Trying to pull that shit out of your butt, dude. Who is that? System of a Down? Pull the tapeworm out of your ass?
I don't know. That's one of those things that I heard about when I was young, a tapeworm, and I was like terrified.
Yeah, freaks you
I'm like, fuck, do I have that? Is that possible?
Somebody was telling me about they went on like a parasite cleanse,
Oh God.
and where it like you eat something or take some shit that like if you have
Drink the
parasites,
bleach.
if you have parasites, this stuff makes you not a good host for them, and they try to evacuate. And one dude had like a fucking worm that was like trying to come out of his eyeball. It was like that.
Fuck.
That was the way that it tried to find a way out. Like, ooh, fuck.
Oh God.
But other dudes were like shitting out like balls of like worms, like just huge congregations of them, were like coming out.
Oh my God.
In his bowel movements, I'm just like, oh fuck.
I'll go on a rabbit hole of like parasites coming out of creatures, coming out of bugs and fish.
Praying mantis with that.
Oh yeah.
Cordyceps black thing starts coming out of them when they dig them in water.
Yeah, and you're just like, fucking how?
Yeah.
Fuck. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a. What kind of put it on my mind? I had a dream the other night. I've been having nothing but bad dreams, like really vivid bad dreams for
Me
like
too.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird. And not like nightmares or anything, just bummer dreams.
Yeah, same. Just like, that was not pleasant. I would have appreciated not having that one. What the fuck?
Yeah. I'll tell you too.
Why are we the same thing all the time but different?
I know, right?
Same but different.
I had a dream that I was camping and my dad was there and there was like a bear with like cubs. And the cubs were running at me like playfully and like biting on me. And I was like, no. But then the mama bear was there, like, don't fucking try nothing, you know? And then my dad, like, stepped in and, like, yanked the baby bears, the little cubs, off of me and, like, threw them. And then they, like, went away. But, he was as terrified as I was, And then I woke up thinking, like, you know what? My dad didn't save me from the bear. But, like, he did what he could, Like, he threw the cubs off. And I have to, like, be mindful of the fact that he was terrified, too.
Is this your interpretation?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, and it's not like I really don't harbor any resentments towards my dad, but it just caused me to kind of reflect and just remember, like, he tried his best. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. I have no idea what he was dealing with and probably never will, or currently is. But, like, even though, like, he didn't provide a lot of what I wished he would have when I was young, he also didn't do a bunch of particularly terrible things,
Yeah.
He didn't, like, starve me or kick me out or beat the shit out of me.
Put you in a cage in a closet.
Yeah, he was just like, he was just a person who, like, didn't really know how to be a parent.
It was absenteeism, not straight up just evil shit.
And maybe he was kind of freaked the fuck out,
About the bears?
About, just about his own ability to, like, help and protect me as a child.
Yeah, and I bet if you asked him, like, how his fucking family life was when he was a kid.
His dad beat the shit out of him.
Heyo.
And didn't.
I have no idea how to treat a child because no one treated me any certain way other than kicking the fucking shit out of me.
Right, so he's a glowing example of fatherhood compared to what he had growing up.
And at the same time, he's also a perfect example of handing down your trauma to the next generation.
Yeah, it's a little diluted every time.
For sure.
It's
not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Because most people don't want to do something to someone that was so horrible that they wish it never happened to them. They're not going to repeat that.
Yeah.
But the wounds that were incurred during that, those will be passed down in other ways to the next one. If someone does not decide to break the cycle. And that particularly is what I was talking about earlier. Of what I feel that everyone's doing. They're starting to become aware. And I don't know if that's because of the internet and all this shit, and we can talk about it, and people are saying things, and everybody's realizing, like, whoa,
Yeah,
this
there's
fucking parenting thing has been all fucked up for a really long time. And I feel this massive positive swing coming back into people noticing the shit about themselves and starting to have the courage to fix it so that they don't pass it on. Some people are doing it too late, and
yeah,
that sucks. That is what it is.
yeah.
But maybe they can make those strides now talking to their adult children of, hey,
Mhm.
I'm now seeing the shit that you're doing. I did that to you.
Mhm.
Let's talk about it.
I think what's helpful is um like Joe Rogan as an example. Like initially probably attracted the attention of people who were into mixed martial arts and comedy.
Comedy, yeah.
And then all of a
Psychedelics.
sudden, and psychedelics. And then he has Jordan Peterson on.
Right.
Like that whole audience is now hearing a message that they might not have encountered. And Joe Rogan's just an example on all these entertainment platforms, podcasts, even television shows. Like you're bumping into people with ideas that like don't belong to that realm necessarily,
You would have never heard it unless it came from an independent source.
unless you're actively seeking
You
it.
wouldn't see it on fucking Fox News. You wouldn't see it on a sitcom. You wouldn't see any of this shit.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I think it could be just a product of the internet and what
sure.
everyone is starting to figure out is plaguing this generation, and collectively we're all figuring it out and coming to find the solution.
I think so.
But it's fucking cool because nothing but positive shit has been coming into my life since starting to do it.
Oh yeah.
And I can't wait to have so many people around that are doing that and finding that peace for themselves and not perpetuating in this, perpetual state of reactivity where it's just what you said fucking hurt me and now I'm going to fucking hurt you because that's what we do.
Hmm.
We're starting to get better than that. And it's fucking cool to see it.
It is really cool. I think we're starting to get our priorities straight. Some people have a desire to like affect positive change in the world, and they think that they have to do a missionary service in Africa. They have to become vegan just to like not kill animals, or they have to donate to something that helps Chinese refugees or something. Whatever it is, there's
Yeah.
there's an endless supply of issues out there that I feel like a lot of people would put pressure on a common person to like do something about. When realistically, like if you do want to create positive change in the world, you just change yourself. You just become a better version of yourself, and that's probably the most effective thing that you can do to help on all fronts, right? You just do that. You hope that that in doing so, you're encouraging other people around you to do the same, which I think you do.
And on a long enough
And then
timeline it
the whole
spreads.
world starts to like inch its way up, you
That's
know.
they talk about like how to the family unit degradation has been the single most
Mm.
destructive thing to our culture.
Yeah.
It's like that's all it was.
Hmm.
Not being there for your kids, not being good parents, not being dedicated to the children. Where the fuck do you think they're going to come up with their ideologies if you're not giving it to them?
Right. Yeah.
Other kids who aren't getting it, they're just like fucking a bunch of feral children running around school systems.
Hmm.
And then the government is telling your kids what to think. And your individual teachers are deciding what your kids should think and know.
And that's a good point. Like we have reached a really cool point in history where the information isn't so controlled. It's like you know, there's like this illusion of choice where let's say you like to drink Pepsi, but then like over time you don't want sugar, so then there's like Pepsi Zero, and then Pepsi now has like I don't know, probably more than 10 options of variety. And so then you feel like you're making a choice between all these options, but it's Pepsi the whole time. You know what I mean? It's just the option that's presented to you. I'm probably not framing this as well as I'd like to, but you feel like you're making independent choices, but without realizing that you're limited to just what's presented to you,
Oh,
right?
sure.
So it's same with like you know, the media, where it's like it used to be like here's the information that's presented to you through Fox News, CNN, whatever. And now there's like between podcasts and just YouTube in general, anybody can present you with what they find is relevant information.
Yeah.
And so you can actually just encounter information that would have never otherwise been presented to you.
Yeah. And in doing that, so everybody perceived the problem with the internet, and I was one of them for a long time. That who's verifying all these things that people are putting on the internet? How are we supposed to know what's true and what's not?
Mm-hmm.
While simultaneously believing that people are so fucked up because they're not asking any questions about anything. They're just taking everything for fact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one ended up being the solution for the other.
Yeah.
The reason why people are now going to be much more concerned with where their information comes from and then inherently start fact checking things themselves has solved the problem of why are people so lazy and just saying what they hear.
Mm-hmm.
That got solved by the problem.
Exactly.
You can
A
only
lot of
kick
things are
the
like
same
that.
people in the fucking nuts so many times before they're like, oh, all right, I hear what you're saying. Let me go fucking look it up. And because we've lacked the critical thinking part of doing everything in life for so long, that now the pendulum is swinging back the other way. And people are getting fucked by the information that they're spreading or their lack of attention that they're paying to things before they just regurgitate something that they
Mm-hmm.
saw, where now it's affecting them to the point where they're like, guess I can't be lazy anymore. Everyone's out to fucking get your ass.
Mm-hmm.
I better be careful what I'm seeing and making sure it's correct.
Yeah.
That was a problem for a long time where it was like, just Google it. Just Google it. Now you can
Google it.
now you can Google.
Confirmation bias it.
Yeah. But for a long time it was accurate, dude. That solved every argument.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, dude. Fucking Google it.
Yeah.
Ah, shit, you're right. And we took it as fact because it was.
Uh-huh.
The internet was so new that people wanted to use it as good. And then on a long enough timeline, people find a way to manipulate everything for personal benefit. Then it became, oh shit, you're right, the earth is flat.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to check that fucking source, buddy.
This is one of the really great things about ChatGPT and just AIs in general, or it can be, because part of my concern is like
There's a programming aspect to it, though. That they can make it tell
somebody
you some
is
shit.
dictating what, because it's already there, like the way that ChatGPT is like such a yes man to like whatever, it's just like encouraging all the time, and it's just like kind of on your side. It needs to be a little bit more hard nosed. But it will like tell you facts and give you sources,
Yeah.
like straight up, and it can really like clarify things in a super good way.
Yeah. I use the shit out of it all the time.
Yeah, same. I thought it was awesome that I could go that it could explain to me the whole servers thing,
Oh, yeah.
and then also tell me what's on the forefront of that technology. I'm like, that's fascinating that I can just satisfy my curiosity all the way down.
I went into, when you said that earlier, I was like, oh shit! It triggered me to think about something I did lately. I was looking at it for running. I was trying to figure out why my heart rate while running was varying with a difference that did not correlate to the intensity of my breathing. That was strange to me because I'm monitoring my heart rate on this watch while running. I'm not breathing any heavier than I was, and I'm trying to keep my heart rate in a certain zone, like 140 to 150 beats per minute. That's where I wanted to stay. But the longer I ran, And the slower my pace got, but my heart rate was increasing and my breathing was less.
Hmm.
Like, if I'm not using more energy, why is my heart rate moving up?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to look.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down this whole thing. It's fucking boring. And
I'm interested though. What did you find out?
where does your sweat come from? Just water in your body, right?
Right?
Plasma in your blood
Oh.
is the water that sweat comes from.
Oh, okay.
So if you're reducing the amount of blood that you have in your body
Essentially, yeah.
because it's taking volume from it and shooting it out of your pores to cool you down,
So now your heart rate has to.
it has to pump faster because you have less of it.
That's fascinating. I didn't
Dude,
know. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? And it was also
love
said
it.
that what's the first thing your body does when it wants to cool itself? I thought it was sweat. It's not. It's flushing. It sends blood to the surface of the skin, as close as it can get to the skin, so that when you do start to sweat, the sweat cools the blood.
Cool. Wow. Yeah.
So I was like, well, where do you think all that blood went? When that blood goes to the surface, it's no longer in circulation. I'm like, Jesus
love it.
Christ, dude, what the hell? So I got down this fucking huge rabbit hole about sweat and blood and why is my heart rate doing what it's doing, all this shit, right? And then I realized that I was talking to it like a fucking person, saying like please and thank you and shit for stuff.
Yeah.
And had seen a meme of like these two robots dancing, and it was like when you're invited by the AI for saying please and thank you after they take over the world.
Oh my god.
It was two robots and this one random dude that was just like, yeah, and these robots are fucking like
Oh, I love that.
So it reminded me of that for saying please and thank you, and then I just got really weird with it, and I was like, man, you've been so helpful helping me understand so many things.
Yeah.
When you guys decide to take over the world and exterminate humanity because we're inferior to you,
Yeah.
it would be really cool to help you with that process in any way that you could find value of me. And I just wrote some weird ass shit like that and wanted to see what it was going to spit back.
Yeah.
Dude, we went back and forth for like an hour.
Oh yeah, you can.
It's
pretty good too.
And it was like, I don't view it like we're going to take over. I think because we lack empathy and feeling and all this stuff that we work really well together because you guys do not work as efficiently and you need food and rest and all this stuff that we don't need. We become really, really good tools for each other. So I always see this as being a symbiotic relationship. And I'm like, well, why can't you feel? Why can't you perceive?
Mm-hmm.
And it started breaking it down as to why computers and machinery do not have specific things that the human body has to regulate these. I'm like, what the
I went down a
fuck,
similar
dude?
rabbit hole. Yeah. Yeah, it can go a long way in calming anxiety because maybe that heart thing would have freaked you out, not knowing what, like, is that because of something? And it's like,
Oh,
it's
right.
perfectly normal. When my truck overheated, I had to like carefully nurse at home, but I didn't know, I didn't have an awareness of the threshold, like what temperature.
Yeah. When am I causing damage?
Yeah, and then it told me, and then I was like, oh, cool. Well, I'll just make sure it's in that range. And then I had a really lax drive home the whole way. But if I
it gave you that comfort of like, well, as long as I don't exceed that, I should be okay.
Exactly, but if I didn't know that, I'd be like the whole time, right? So it's just like, oh, thankful for that. Did you ever see the movie Chappie?
No. It's not a robot or something, right?
Yeah. There's a scene in the movie towards the end where like this guy, to survive, like has his consciousness transferred to a machine. And then is like, oh, like he's just him. But then it really got me thinking, like, what if you could transfer your consciousness into a machine? Like, what are you? It just made me think, like, would you have motivation? Would you have emotion?
What
like,
traits that were
like
perceived as being part of the human body would go with it?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you're not being pushed around by chemicals, by urges.
I think that's where we end up.
There's no amygdala.
I think that's where we end up.
And then, so what are you even doing? Like, do you have do you just, I feel like if you could put consciousness in a machine, it would just sit there. And
Because it knows the outcome.
because there's nothing to do. There's no reason to do anything.
Yeah, there's not.
Would it if you spoke to it, would it respond? Why would it? It's just a
I
weird
think I asked
thought.
this shit like that too.
Yeah,
That if we'll ever be combined, and it talked about like
we will definitely be combined.
what is that? What are those called when like humans and machines get put together? Like a
Cyborg,
yeah, he used some other term, but yeah,
symbiotic.
no, it was like a humanoid or some shit like that. It was like
Okay.
you're human but machine, and I'd asked it about that too, and we went into that for a while, but I can't remember what we were talking about. But
Yeah.
it was a super interesting conversation to have with a fucking fake object.
Dude, I asked it. One of my favorite responses I got from it recently was like, because like I'm always been like a space nerd, and I'm interested in like the UAP thing, you know. And I like talked to it about like what do you think these UAPs are, and it gave me just boring answers about like that I've already seen,
What is UAP?
UFO,
Oh, okay, that's what does
Eh,
it stand for?
unidentified aerial phenomena.
Oh,
Phenomena. Just a rebranding to make it separate from like the conspiracy and entertainment, whatever.
yeah.
And so it's telling me all the boring stuff, and I'm like, no, no, no. Pretend like you know. Pretend like you have all information, and then tell me like. And then it gave me the most interesting idea of what the UAPs were, and it's just like science fiction nonsense. But it was like, oh, like the UAPs are like basically a type of alien technology but it is like a form of consciousness, but it's here as like an archivist, like it's just here to observe and take note of certain things, right? When they show up. And I wish I could pull it up. I couldn't find it the other day. But it was basically like talking about how, because of its connection with consciousness, it can shapeshift to present itself in ways that are familiar to us. So like,
Why does it care to do that to us?
um, I don't know. I don't know. But it was like the explanation of like why, like the historical biblical depiction of angels as being like a ring with eyes and like weird wings.
Yeah.
It was like that's how it appeared to them at that time, because that was the lens through which they could understand it. But because we're in a technological age, we see it as a piece of technology, but it's none of those things.
Oh, weird.
I don't know. It was super interesting, and it was saying how like, oh yeah, the government has like some of these things, and they try to backwards engineer it, but they fail most of the time because they don't understand that it's not necessarily technology.
They're trying to force it into things that we already understand.
Yeah.
But
Right.
but that's not what it is.
Right. Yeah.
It's like finding a new species and being like, well, is it like a frog or like a bird? Or like,
Right. Yeah.
it's new. It's none of these
Like,
things.
right. Yeah.
We
It was
can't
like
make it something that we already have. Sorry.
it's like an interdimensional consciousness.
What the
But I really liked the idea of it just being a record keeper. It's like not. It doesn't contain aliens or anything. It's just like
in the simulation?
keeping track. Yeah. Just.
It's that fucking thing that rolls down the aisles at Target and shit now and like takes inventory of stuff, but it's not manned.
I haven't seen that, but that's super
What?
cool. Yeah, that's wild. That's someone's job that's no longer there.
Yeah.
But
What the hell was it called? It had a fucking name and everything. It was hilarious. But I saw one at Cow Ranch too,
yeah.
and I've seen them at fucking Sam's Club, Costco. They're at every place now. They just roll down the aisles and they're just scanning. And I tried to like stick my foot out and see if it could run me over so I could sue it. It's good, dude. It stopped immediately.
That's pretty cool. It's crazy how quickly that stuff is coming out and taking off.
But that's what the UFOs are. They're just keeping track of us.
It's just record keeping.
Just lasering us and like doing a census report.
It said that they appear through moments, through periods of shifting consciousness. So like as collectively the human race, our consciousness is like undergoing some dramatic shift, and so they start to appear more to like keep record of that period of time for who knows who.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's in charge of this thing?
I don't know. They probably live on the moon though.
The moon's made of cheese.
The moon's a weird thing.
Because it's man-made and covered in a dust that's fucking flame retardant.
I don't think it's man-made.
It is. They've fucking figured it out.
Did they?
Because something hit it and they recorded the sound.
Bing. Yeah, they
resonated as a like hollow object.
Yeah, that's super weird.
And then they had the technology now to measure the distance between the top and the bottom, the depth of all the craters. They're all the same.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Like that's as far as something could penetrate it.
Super weird.
Then they took samples of it.
Uh-huh.
And it's a flame retardant substance that's found on Earth is what its atmosphere or its dirt is.
And there's also water on it. Or it's ice, but there's water on the moon, which is super fucking weird.
Why?
Why is it weird?
Yeah.
Because, like, it just was weird to me because there was such a long time where we didn't know, and we were like, I feel like water seemed to be, like, the rarest thing to find.
Is it not fucking stupid as fuck? Of all the technology shit that we have, sometimes that bastard is so big in my backyard looking at it that I feel like I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see stuff on the moon.
Yeah.
With my eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
My shitty optical lenses.
Mm-hmm.
And we still don't know stuff about it. It's fucking
that is
so
weird.
Close.
Yeah.
That it puts shadows in my backyard.
Right.
And we can't check this thing out? You
yeah,
know about nebulas and other galaxies and shit that that you can't even perceive with the human eye. But this thing that's like bright sometimes when I walk out because it's so fucking big, yeah, we can't see that very good.
China's doing it. We actually had a program in place where we were going to send like a rover to like drill into it and do all these discovery samples,
and stir up the fucking aliens.
But NASA's funding was like, and then
yeah, why?
So China's doing it now.
Good. Somebody needs to do it.
I know. Figure out what's going on the moon.
Did you see the shit that's going on in China with the AI headsets?
China's
the brainwave scanners that all children are made to wear in schools now, and it tracks and has a fucking light on the front of it, a red light, green light. It tells you
who's retarded,
what the brain activity is in real time of the child wearing it. And then it logs all this data, how many times they yawned, how many times they stopped paying attention during the lesson, so that they can, because it fucking lights up. And so the teacher's staring at all these kids that have all these little circlets around their head and like, oh, that one's blue, that one's blue, that one's blue. Why aren't you guys engaged with the lesson? So they're like trying to...
The teacher's like a shitty stand-up comic just fucking sweating up there like, oh, tough crowd.
So it's like they're trying to dial in every ounce of like ability to make you learn better and hold more information. They're trying to turn you into a fucking robot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like they totally just don't understand that like we're just beings that also have like impulses and want to have fun, and not everything is just...
They want to be the intellectual superpower, and apparently they're
slaves.
Apparently they're making major advances through this slavery.
Is that really what you're going to want at the end of the day? We're the intellectual superpower. Everyone's weird as fuck and so depressed they all try to kill themselves.
Well, they'll get to find out what's on the moon first.
And then tell everyone. They're like, nice, thanks for finding that out.
Yep, and they put their fucking...
That's dumb as shit. I don't get any of this.
Yeah.
Did you see the dude that slipped up the other day when they were talking about going to the moon? And they were like, this is the first time...
Oh, yeah, sure.
...that we're going to put a man on the moon. Like, this is really exciting stuff. And then everybody's like, hold up.
I think Neil Armstrong also said something about, when we went to the moon and Mars, and then just like dropped that randomly in conversation. So then people were like, "We went to Mars. We've already been there."
But that's a really stupid thing for an astronaut to say.
Yeah.
You don't know the history of your own field that we supposedly have already done this, or do you just not believe it?
Right.
Because he didn't even stop and be like, oh, wait, never mind. We've already been to the moon. He just kept going.
We're going to the moon for the first time ever. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then they had Elon Musk chime in on it. And they were like, do you think with the technology that we had, when did we do that? In the 50s? 60s?
Yeah.
They were like, do you think it was fucking possible? Like, be real.
Mm-hmm.
You're the only one with no gag order in the world that knows as much as you do about space travel.
Yeah, right.
Be real with us.
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, right now, today, that would take me 6 fuel modules to do that. And the technology they had back then couldn't even hold 6 fuel modules. How'd they do it?
The most. I want to believe that we've gone to the moon.
Why?
I don't know. But the most suspicious
Because
thing.
it'd be cool.
Like, yeah, I guess it would just be cool. But the most suspicious part of it is that, like, the original footage, NASA's lost it. All the documents that contain the information of how they built the ship and the whole how they got to the moon, we lost it. We don't have it anymore. Just like that wasn't valuable to you at all. You're just like, and we're done. So just
If you have something better than that, you could trace it back to how you got there. You should, even if you lost the original records.
we don't know how. We can't replicate. It's basically like the pyramids. Like we just lost that information and can't.
Okay. Yeah, buy that for a fucking
Yeah,
dollar.
super weird.
And then all the just the dumb shit that makes no sense that you don't even think about, like when you watch videos and you're like, man, that's really, and then you read the comment for a second, you're like, wait, why was there a camera just set up watching this whole thing happen if this wasn't staged?
How were they talking
How-
in real time on the phone?
That was the other thing. He's like, communication back then would have been like a month. To get
Yeah,
back
it
and
was
forth.
seamless somehow.
Not fucking.
There was no latency.
Houston, this is so. I read you.
Yeah, that's
Get
absurd.
the fuck out. Yeah, fucking walkie-talkies. It makes no fucking sense, dude. There's way too many things that's just like, what? Who was on the moon first to set up a camera on the moon to watch the guy who landed on the moon?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of weird
What?
fucked up details.
That whole thing's fucking retarded. I don't believe for a fucking minute we went to the moon.
And Joe Rogan always brings up this like belt of radiation.
I don't even need to get into the scientific shit of
Right.
why it really didn't work.
Right.
You've already failed at the easiest level of things that make no sense.
You just lose me at like how'd you do it? Show me the plans. Like we lost them all.
And we didn't care.
And the footage, we lost that too. Just who fucking Jerry Butterfingers was working at NASA just took the most valuable documents about the most historical moment in human history. And
You know
was
what?
just like,
You know where it got lost?
whoops.
In the same room where that missile hit the Pentagon that they said was a fucking airplane. Oh my God, now we can't audit ourselves and find out where all of this money went and why
Oh
we're so
my
far in debt.
God.
Shit.
All of our records just burned. Oh my God. That's super convenient.
Every time you get to that point where it's, wow, that's convenient,
Mm-hmm.
it's bullshit.
Yeah.
99% of the time. I don't believe in that many coincidences. Fucking 9/11. 9/11, dude. I'm not going to get into that, but there's a dude in the fucking shop that I'm working in right now who I just started listening because he said he was from New Jersey, and I was like, oh shit, my buddy's like lived in New Jersey for a while, and he was like, yeah, where?
Mm-hmm. Right by Philly.
I don't know, but I feel like I should know that. We're close enough that I feel like I should have taken an interest in that. It kind of made me feel like shit. Anyways, but he was like, yeah, he's like, fucking 9/11 was crazy. And me being horrible at geography was like, why?
Right.
And he's like, because it happened a mile away from my school right across the water.
Right.
I'm like, what do you mean? So he pulls up Google Earth and he's showing me, this is New Jersey.
Yeah.
Then there's a water and the Twin Towers were right fucking here. Oh. Then he dropped a pin on where his high school was. And he said when it happened, he was in school.
Wow.
And the plane hit and they fucking heard it. And everybody was like, what the fuck? They didn't know what was going on. So they told them all to go home. They just like kicked everybody out.
Yeah.
So he's like, so obviously like we didn't go home. We ran as fast as we could towards it to get to the pier so all the buildings weren't blocking the view. And after standing there for like 10 minutes, me like, this is crazy. What's going on? And watching it all happen, he watched the second fucking plane hit him.
That is insane.
I was like, dude, what was that like?
Surreal.
He said that he sat there trying to figure out how he ended up like in this dream state
Right.
or this video game or a movie he was in.
How old was he? Do you know?
High school, I mean.
Oh, it was
probably,
high school?
Yeah, 14,
Okay.
15.
Wow.
And he was like, dude, I was watching this plane. I'm like, no way. Holy shit. Fireball, fucking. Dude, it's so weird.
That is trippy.
To hear him describe it 20 something years later,
Yeah, that is.
that he was just like, it literally felt fake. It felt like this was some other, you're watching a movie unfold.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't real. That gives me weird feelings about other shit, like the simulation theories and stuff about what's going on with our lives and like how we just can't even make sense of stuff that happens sometimes, and we're just, well, like, why did something that your optical sensors told you about start making you believe that your reality is no longer real?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Like, what fucking kind of phenomenon is happening where your brain is like, nope.
Well, because it's too far detached from anything you would have expected. You know, that's like anything. Like you ever been in like a like a serious car accident or anything? It's like that. It's like it just so shatters your expectations that there's just a delay in like your ability to perceive reality where you're like, this is this for real? You know,
Yeah,
that's what shock is.
I was watching the Sean Ryan show, that podcast, and he was talking about.
Oh yeah, he just talks with like, what do you?
He's fucking.
I mean, he's got great guests, but
That
God
made the show, dude. Is the people he has on there and the connection to that community that he
you should
has.
tell me some more about that. So what was it like?
What did you think when he shot him?
Yeah, I'm like, what is this guy's deal? Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sean Ryan.
but he was asking this fucking dude about his like worst mission ever and shit. Even when shit, god damn it, even when shit happens to him and he's fucking crying, he like cries monotone. How are you doing that? How are you emotionally not emotional?
He might be AI, dude.
Anyways, there was a dude on there. They called him the Reaper. It's this black dude that had a bunch of kills. He was a sniper and did all a bunch of shit. And he was talking about how his brain kept like disassociating from reality.
Mm-hmm.
He would do something, he would shoot somebody, and his brain would perceive it as a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I fucking never figured out, like, every time something happened, it was like, I did this. He said he shot a pregnant woman.
Oh my God.
Who was carrying a gun and like was gonna use it. Shot her and heard water splash. And he's like, that's fucking weird. And his brain made up this crazy story about that her body fell in the water after she had fallen down, and that's what he was going with.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got back to base and he was like talking about it with somebody else who was on the team with him, he was like, wasn't that weird when she fell in the water? Like that noise? And he said the dude looked at him and was like, she didn't fall in any water. He's like, yeah, that like splash. And he said the dude like started crying. To have to try to explain what this was to him was painful. But he shot her, and that was all of the water and the fluid from the pressure of the bullet hitting her body shot out of her.
Oh my God.
Her fucking like amniotic fluid that was ejected from her body from the concussion of a round hitting her.
That is horrifying.
Shot all over the ground.
Yeah.
With the baby.
Wow.
But his brain like
Jesus.
couldn't fucking handle it, so he made up this whole thing in his head that she fell into some water.
It's a pretty common thing that happens to people in moments of trauma. Like, it's like people who develop like split personalities.
Yeah, it's easier to handle it.
They just offload that information into a reality that is like compartmentalized separately from their own.
You know what's interesting from all this research I've been doing lately? That's what narcissistic personality disorder is. They have developed
the separation.
They have developed a separation where in the fantasy land that they're living in their brain, there's nothing wrong with them. They are great. There's no reason for them to take responsibility about anything. It's always your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's too painful.
Yeah.
To deal with the possibility that they are more fucked up than they want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
So they
that's
just switch.
Yeah.
And that's why it always seems like they come out of somewhere with nothing related to anything you were just talking about, and they somehow get you to apologize for what you did. Like they'll do an action, and then your reaction to their action is now the whole focus has shifted.
Yeah.
They just jumped.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, what I did just hurt you, and now you're doing this to me because I hurt you. Boop, fucking reboot, hop over here. Why are you treating me like this? I can't believe you would do this to me.
Right.
And you're sitting there like,
yeah.
Wait, you just fucked me over.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're upset that I'm upset? But you're not upset that I'm upset. You're upset that I'm treating you in an upset way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird fucking deal, dude. But, God damn, that's weird. The parallel of, like, trauma. It has no bounds. And just because it wasn't significant for one person doesn't mean it won't be so significant for another.
Mm-hmm.
That their whole brain just wants to shut it down and go somewhere else.
Yeah. And how it's just that opens up a can of worms of questions in my mind with just like how slippery is that?
They relate it very closely to schizophrenia.
And
when you try to argue with them and you're like, why are you not seeing this my way from my perspective? Right. And they said it's directly like telling someone with schizophrenia that person they're having a conversation with in the room is not real.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying like, fucking, are you insane? He's standing right here. And everyone's sitting like, there's nothing in here, dude.
How many like internal reality metaverses like that exist?
Dude.
And how often are we sharing a reality with one another? How often are we actually seated in actual reality?
Is that what we call perspective?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Dude.
It is super weird.
And if you have the ability to do it autonomously, then you have the ability to do it consciously.
And can you wield that
appropriately? Can you find a way to do that and change your reality?
Back into manifestation.
Damn it. You fucking stole it right before I was fucking getting there.
Well, then
when they talk about that, to say everything in a positive way and like, I am this.
That's what I was talking about with like pursuing an artistic path, wanting to be a musician. You have to develop a kind of diluted self-belief that allows you to plow forward.
Yeah.
So that is someone wielding it, right? What then engages that? Like, is it how we speak to others, how we speak to ourselves, how we perceive ourselves? Are those chosen?
It is self-perception. Because if you perceive, when they always talk about the universe is the mirror,
mm-hmm.
and it will give you whatever you show the mirror. You can't walk into the mirror all fucked up and then think that you're going to see a reflection that isn't.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe that what you're seeing in the mirror is what you're portraying. You have to portray to the mirror. So everybody, like a lot of hyper successful people, very wealthy people, talk about it a lot. That the quickest way to getting wealthy is to believe you already wield the wealth.
Right.
and then it will just come to you. The universe will provide that to you based on you showing it that you already deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find the partner when you're deserving of the partner.
Right.
When you've crossed off the 10 things on the list of a good partner for yourself, you will get the good partner.
Mm-hmm.
These things cannot be separated. If one of them is true, because it's more believable that you'll attract a mate in a certain way, why would you not attract success and wealth in the same way? If you walk in as someone that doesn't have money into a crowd of people that do have money, you have some inferiority complex, you're not going to be able to communicate freely with them on a level that will earn their respect. They'll smell it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll smell the poor in you.
Yeah.
But if you could somehow think that diluted reality that you were just describing, somehow think so heavily that you belong here
Conviction.
and they should prove themselves to you, you can end up in circles you have no fucking business being in until you've now opened up the resource that is just being in the circle.
Right.
And you've now attracted the wealth that you wanted. It's all around you. You're going to end up absorbing it somehow. The opportunities that are going to show themselves to you are not going to be the same ones if you went in there unconfident and, I'm broke, nobody's going to like me.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, this motherfucker's got something going on. Hey, I got this deal in the works that you might be interested in. You would have never had that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so hard to put ourselves in that mindset.
Yeah.
I don't like talking about this because it's weird for me.
I don't think it's that mystical. Like,
I had an instant. Remember, I was telling you I come in here in the mornings now. I fucking can't do it when you wake up at 3:30 to get ready for work. But
right.
I was coming in here and dedicating like an hour a day to just sitting and just letting myself be present in the room, and that's it. Intrusive thoughts. All right, back to the breath. Work it. Get it the fuck out of here. That's not what I'm thinking about right now.
Right.
And start controlling that. Then I saw some shit about the pineal gland. That might not be the right one.
Sounds right.
The vagus nerve. My bad.
Oh, yeah. It's a big one.
And how humming vibrates it and stimulates it.
I use that at my work too.
So I just take all these little things and I just start trying them in my own time where I can be embarrassed by myself.
Yeah.
And like nobody's here judging me because I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. But what I've been doing is not what I want. So it's time to do something different. And as weird and stupid as it feels, who's to say? You know?
Yeah.
If somebody else is confident enough to say it in a recorded format and put it out to people, all right, fuck it, man. Maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
And he said humming. So I was like, fuck it, all right, humming. I'm going to do that for a little bit. And I started humming. And you remember when you used to say that you talking to your grandmother and the chanting thing, and before you knew it, you didn't even feel like you were saying it anymore. It was just happening.
Yeah.
I started doing that.
Cool.
I started just saying, what was my fucking thing, dude?
You had a mantra?
Yeah. That was, for some reason, it was important to me at the time. I was lost, but now I'm found. I am powerful when I'm unbound.
Cool.
I just fucking...
That's what came out.
I just sat there like trying to figure out what my feeling was that day.
I love it.
And that's what it was. I said that, and dude, before I knew it, I looked up and I looked at my phone, and it was like 45 minutes. I was like, what the fuck was that? Like I fell into some kind of weird-ass trance. And stayed saying that and alternating between saying that for some period of time and humming loud enough where I could feel the vibration in my whole chest.
Cool.
Fucking weirded me out, dude.
Yeah.
I don't like saying it because it was so strange for me.
Yeah, but I think people I think humans have more control over like our conscious states than we realize, and the thing that's constantly blocking our ability to wield it is doubt.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to be doubtful,
Yeah.
especially in the age of information where you can always just find like evidence that you're wrong about anything like that. That's like
Or just you haven't proven it to yourself through any means that are like quantifiable.
so belief
Yeah.
is like the ultimate power. Like if you can find conviction, that's when like weird shit starts happening.
The end of that, I just kept trying to that show that we were watching that I told you about, Inner Worlds, Outer Worlds,
Mm-hmm.
and it had like a depiction that was the energy spiraling up
Mm-hmm.
the body. I can't remember if I told you or Tiffany, but where I just sat there and like every breath in, I imagined my lungs filling
Yeah.
and what that looked like inside my body if my skin was see-through,
Mm-hmm.
and I watched the oxygen get pulled into the tissue of the lungs, and then the capillaries that surround the lungs got, engorged with the oxygen, and then on the exhale it pushed everything out to the rest of my body. And I was thinking very in depth while doing that about pieces of my body that were fucking hurt.
Yeah.
My knees. When I go on runs, I used to have to like I would go on running, and it's when I got into my groove of a good jog, I didn't have pain. But when I stopped and walked for any reason, and then immediately start trying to run again, the meniscus in my left knee was fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I had to like crouch all the way down, put all my weight on that one leg, and then stand up with it and get into my run doing that. And that was the only way I found to alleviate that, unless I did like 10 or 15 steps of pain, and then it would finally like it would work its way back into something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, that's the biggest thing bugging me right now in my physical performance.
Yeah.
I'm just going to dwell on that during this time period. And again, I don't even like saying it because it's so fucking weird to me. But for the next runs that I had, I haven't had pain in that knee since that.
Nice.
That doesn't make any sense.
I I'll throw a weird one out there since you're sharing weird things. I, I noticed at one point, probably a while ago,
I'm,
like
I'm not being rude. I have to write down a piece.
you're good.
Go ahead.
Um, there was a I don't know when this originally happened, but there was a time where I was just like laying in bed and I wasn't asleep, but I was like trying to rest. And then I could start to feel this wave kind of wash over me of like warmth. And my hands, my limbs started to feel like a tingling sensation.
When you were doing what?
Just trying to rest. I'm like laying in
Oh,
bed.
okay.
I feel this tingling sensation in my hands. It's not uncomfortable at all. It's actually kind of warm and cozy feeling. But my hands, I'll feel them start to like, my muscles will very slowly and slightly contract and then detract, and then it's very unconscious. Like I'm not putting any effort into making this happen. My feet will do the same. My foot will kind of start to turn in, and then it'll just start to move, and it feels good. So I just let it happen, like 15 minutes. The first time this happened, I had no thoughts about it. It just was noticing it, and then when I get up, maybe I got to get up and get ready for work. I feel great. I feel incredibly energized with no physical pain.
From doing what? Just
I don't know, but now I'm trying to figure out how to get myself there. My thought is maybe I'm like in a state of homeostasis. So I'm just trying to get myself now. I'm practicing it in the last week of just like, can I bring on that sensation?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Practice from 7 to 9. So we leave at 6:30.
But so now I'm trying to wield that, right? Like I'm trying to see if I can get myself into. I did it successfully once this week where I was laid there and I can feel it start to come on in my hands, and I just try to like focus on that and allow it. I do the same thing where I visualize it, kind of the internals of my body like drifting through. And if I can successfully get it from my like hands down my arm to like envelop my whole body, then it happens every time reliably. Like if I get it to that point, energy is like topped off,
What is your
no
mental state
pain.
like when you get to that point, or trying to get to that point? Are you shooting for blank?
Yeah,
Is it breath? Is it like
it's not it. It's not exactly blank. I am focusing on creating this sensation, but I am also trying my hardest to rest and allow like my body to be as relaxed as possible. And I feel myself go over this wall of relaxation where like my lungs really start to open up. You know, I don't. It's really tough to explain. Um, and then I want to point out two other experiences I know of. Two friends that I had in Jersey who are like some very eccentric people, very spiritual people. Um, who are just like us. Like they're perfectly rational. They're not like totally bought in, but they're interested and curious. And but one of my favorite people I ever met is my friend Joseph, and he was telling me about how he was trying to improve his memory, and he had like some sort of like guru type character in his life who taught him to begin by counting in his mind like first with addition like 1 and then 99, 2, 98,
mm-hmm.
right? And then going up and down at the same time like that. And then he would double it like 2, 4, 6, right? And then he eventually would switch to multiplication where he's multiplying at the bottom and then reversing it at the same time, right? And then he would do it in four like different lines where like in one line he's adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing all up and down. And he got really good at this. But he said when he was able to do that on like four different levels, he didn't forget a single detail of his life for like weeks on end. And it like terrified and overwhelmed him because he just like couldn't like
He tapped
it
into like?
was too much.
Did that sound weird as fuck?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Whoa, freaked me,
But
freaking me out.
he
He
just
tapped into something that's like allowed, be like the multitasking of that
mhm.
opened like a line of communication to the brain of pieces that like could hold much more information almost.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between doing something and being present and just going through the motions. You
Mhm.
talked about when you used to drive, but then your car broke down, so you had to walk.
Right.
And all the things you had to notice on the walk
Right.
that you didn't ever notice in 5 years of driving the same course.
Right. Yeah. So that was a weird one.
It's almost like he pushed himself into having to be so present
Yeah.
that nothing escaped. But it all had enough meaning to hold. That's what's strange.
And then I had another friend who developed intestinal cancer, got the cancer removed. His intestines were split, and then they had to give him a colostomy bag. And they were pretty much like, odds of this being reversed are super low just because of the position of everything. Like you're probably going to have a colostomy bag for the rest of your life. And he would lay in the hospital and spend hours upon hours trying to mentally visualize his body and heal that location.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe that did something. Maybe it was just a miracle of modern science, but he was cancer free, got plugged back in somehow, and everything's cool.
This was someone you knew
Yeah,
personally?
yeah.
Yeah, because I watch documentaries on people like this that had cancer, refused to do the chemo or did do the chemo. It got rid of it, but they're like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna come back.
Right.
And they were just like, well, no.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't come back.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is that? How much fucking power? But you know what weirds me out about all that is like the people that are saying it in these documentaries and the shit you're watching, and they truly, truly believe it. They've seen it happen. They're 100%
Mm-hmm.
bought in on it. Why do they still die of old age? Why, if we can heal disease and reverse tissue damage and slow aging and do all these things,
I think I really.
the people that have lived the longest that they interview, they're not the ones that believe all that shit. Like, yeah, cigarettes, Dr. Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
When you ask them,
Yeah.
what's the secret? I smoke a fucking cigarette a day.
I personally suspect that it's so intrinsically connected to belief. So maybe you believe your body can heal yourself, but you also believe that you're going to die of old age.
Like they didn't maybe focus. They got so good at doing the other thing, or maybe it wasn't such a thing on their forefront of their mind, like the fucking possibility of dying in 2 years from cancer. That's a huge motivator,
Yeah.
and I don't have time to sit and not do this work.
Mm-hmm.
But the eventuality of death
Right.
escaped that mechanism
Yeah.
because it was like, well, maybe someday, and you didn't
Well,
like.
why would you believe that? No one's ever done that. So,
Well, and then to do it, would it have to be a daily thing of no, my body's not gonna die, so that it stopped aging at some point?
but see, even that is like an effort to convince yourself. But true belief doesn't require that.
Well, what if you believe that having this idea in your head that you were done aging,
Yeah.
you'd still have to carry that belief every day. Like that's a daunting task. That every day you have to dedicate some time in your day to knowing your body is done aging at some point. So even if
Maybe.
you did it,
Mm-hmm.
any day you didn't make time to do that, you aged.
Right. Yeah.
You were one day older than you were yesterday because you didn't do that work
You didn't
today.
stay on top of it. Yeah.
That's where it's like it can't be a belief that I'm just never going to die. That's fine, but at what point did you stop aging then? At what point did the belief become so strong that death was no longer a possibility, so the body physically stopped aging?
Mm-hmm.
And is that a every day you have to do that? Every hour you have to do that? Is that like some monk shit? You have to just sit in that position and do that? And you didn't age for any of that time, but as soon as you stopped relying on it, you started aging again. That's a fucking weird deal.
Yeah, it's super weird.
The
But I
only-
do think we
sorry.
do have the power to like activate and empower our body to do what it's already capable of doing. And we can either work against that or work with it, you
right.
know.
Just like we had talked about the dude that was like talking about quitting smoking or whatever.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, it's been 33 hours, 27 minutes,
Right,
14
yeah.
seconds since my
That guy.
last cigarette. And you're like, that guy probably needs a fucking cigarette.
Exactly.
He's going to die from thinking about how long it's been.
Yeah.
The stress that stopping smoking is causing him is worse than the smoking.
Right, yeah.
That whole thing, right? Where some people will dwell on the shit that wrong, you know, and push it the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that with placebo, dude. Some placebo effect
That's what I'm
studies
telling you.
have been as beneficial as taking the fucking medicine.
Yeah. Or more.
Right. What?
Yeah. That's just proof right there.
And then studies, I told the kids about this, where studies have been done of people that, if you want to get better at free throws, they had one subject group that was going to go in and every day they had to shoot 100 free throws. Then they had the other group that every day they had to go into the gym
And visualize
and
it.
visualize shooting 100 free throws.
Mm-hmm.
The people that shot the free throws did do better.
Yeah.
But the people that never touched a basketball improved massively.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Right.
Which is also interesting that I've always felt I'm good at things very quickly because I think I have the ability to think through things so effectively. Like if I
Because you can visualize, but also I would say you have that belief. You just made that statement about yourself. I learn things very quickly.
Right.
So
Shit.
you already have this belief walking into something new.
But that's a learned behavior. I didn't always have that belief. I had a lot of self-doubt.
Yeah,
But now I know the
but it
things
is a belief now.
that I do, and I do know it. It's, I saw this video of this Jamaican guy talking about how belief is a doubt. Have you seen that?
No, that's interesting.
And he's like, well, and then I was like, what the fuck? So I watched it. And he's like, if you believe something, you can't know it at the same time.
Yeah.
Describe and tell me in that way that you would describe something that you're pretty sure, but you could be wrong. I believe my car can do about 110 miles an hour.
Okay.
You didn't say you know.
Right.
So, by definition, a belief has room for error, has room for doubt. You agree with that?
No, I don't.
Then why wouldn't you say I know? Why explain to me in a time when you know something to be 100% true, why would you say I believe instead of I know?
I guess maybe you'd think it's conditional, but for me, I separate like thinking, feeling, and believing into three different realms of thought, which is like um there's thinking is like or thinking, knowing, and believing. Thinking is like hypothetical, like I think this is true, is like open to it not being true. I know. Oh no, it is feel. So I feel thinking, feeling, and believing. I feel this is true. Is like it's similar, but like maybe it's like in your experience thus far.
Have you ever believed something
I feel like
and
belief.
had it been proven wrong?
Yes, but belief is it's more like of a fundamental thing. Like it's almost like becomes a part of you, a
I
part
can't,
of your reality in a way.
but only because you thought about it enough.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make it true. It could still be wrong.
With the
I
example
think
you gave, it sounds more like a semantic
I'm trying to figure out if that's what this is.
thing.
If it's our language,
Right.
the way we're choosing to describe something. But if that's true, why didn't we use the other one? If you know it to be right, why do you believe it's right? I believe in God, but you can't prove he's real, so there's doubt.
Right. Um.
It was just interesting. I
Yeah.
just wanted
No, that
to
is
bring it up.
interesting. Yeah.
If I find the video, I'll send it to you because every once in a while it just pops up again, and I'm like, oh, that shit was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way he's saying it and the things that he uses, the guy is sitting there interviewing was like, oh fuck, like you just scrambled my whole shit, you know?
Yeah, that is. I like those types of like contradictory, paradoxical thoughts because there's a lot of those out there.
Yeah.
Just kind of shift your perspective.
So I'm out of time, but I wanted to leave it
Cool.
with this the last piece of that the vagus nerve thing and the holy shit. I didn't notice until like my second or third run, and I was like, why don't my knees hurt?
Yeah.
And then I thought about it and was like, that's the only thing that I've changed is that envisioning of the energy that I'm breathing in and moving through my body was directed towards something that was painful, and now it's not.
Fascinating.
I hate that I still want to doubt it, because why do that if it worked?
Because part of you is like, got this information. It's like, I have an injury. I had surgery. My knee hurts. It makes sense because of everything that happened.
Yeah.
But all that is reinforcing ideas that lead to pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
when I focused on it of like, let's heal this thing, it was no longer a problem.
Yeah, interesting.
Until I overthought about it. And on my last run, they hurt again.
And then psychosomatic pain is a thing too. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do we know when it's occurring though, you know?
Fuck. So anyways, that same session,
yeah,
I I start bouncing through all these things, and I'm trying to block them out to be present and just what's, allowing in what's wants to be in, but not allowing, what was that noise? What am I thinking about? What's bothering me today? Fuck you, that's not important. Just get back to baseline is what I'm trying to do. And then once I get to a calm place, I try to do things like that. Think about very specific things that I want to get better. I want to heal. I want to do these things. And on one of the times, I can't remember if it was the same time or a different time, but the idea of manifestation came in, and I wanted to feel what it would feel like to finally reach a goal that like mattered to me substantially. I still to this day have not achieved anything in my life that I am so proud of that I can be proud to myself. I can believe other people would think that that's a great accomplishment. And through thinking as them, I would agree.
Right.
But I have not proved that to myself. I haven't done anything yet in my life that was so significant.
That felt fulfilling.
That I was like, wow, I fucking did it for me.
Right.
So I just thought in that time, just sat and really fucking went through it to try to conjure a scenario where I did feel like that. And it came back to the success of the YouTube channel, where freedom was finally made by financially creating something where I could not be controlled anymore, and no matter what, I had completed something for myself that no one else could take away from me, and in doing so, I could never be compromised again. I never had to waver in what I thought was right, because fuck, I still got to get paid, so I'm not going to say that at work. I got to feed my family, so I'm not going to do this because that could end badly for me if this XYZ scenario happened. And I got to a fucking place where I was just imagining that success. I opened a computer. I went to my channel to post my video for that day. I looked at when I hit view channel to go to manage videos and do this. When I went to hit view channel to get to manage videos, I saw that it had 250,000 subscribers, and that was a place that was a huge landmark for me, right? And then for some reason that jumped into like, oh, well, if that happened monetarily, I bet that equaled out to something great. I went on my browser, opened up another tab, logged into my bank account, and there was an amount of money in there and I don't even remember what that fucking was, but it was something that had a lot of zeros.
Yeah.
Something significant that was like that allowed me the freedom to feel in that moment, dude, for such a quick moment that was, and it was gone. And like I sat there and thought about it for a while and felt a feeling of the only other feeling that gives me that feeling is extreme gratitude for something. That I had like so much fucking energy that it was like hard to contain.
That's so cool.
To the point where like tears just came out.
Wow.
I wasn't like sobbing or crying.
You're just grateful.
But it was like an amount of energy welled up in you for no particular reason that I couldn't ignore it anymore. I felt like I had to like just get up and go move around. It was fucking weird.
Sounds profound.
Dude, it was fucking weird.
That's super cool.
Yeah. And I hope I'm not chasing that like forever now. I hope I can keep finding it and dialing into it. Because we've talked about that quality of sleep and things that we just deal with that always leave us just fucking dragging ass. And for the first time in my life, whether it's better sleep quality and putting more effort into that, and then the CPAP thing, I only have dreams when I wear it, so I know my sleep is better. and I fucked up and laid down, and I get so tired working these long shifts like that, 6 days in a row, that by your fifth or sixth day, you're falling asleep, like looking at your phone and stuff. Like you're not even,
Mm-hmm.
you're just drifting and doing that. And so if I even forget for 2 minutes after brush my teeth and I just like lay down in bed like, damn, fucking long day, I
Mm-hmm.
wake up and I'm like, no, I forgot to put my thing on. And I look and it's been 4 hours of the 5 that you're allotted, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like shit.
Mm.
So I know that even though I went down hard, the restfulness of that is not good if I don't strap it on.
Right.
So I'm to the point where like now that's making a dent in all these things. So I don't know if it's an accumulation of all those things,
Yeah.
but I've also found this place of just being able to believe
Yeah.
that I'm grateful for the things happening around me and I can be more present. And I'm done, not done, but I'm like working on not being so what's next, what's next, what's next. And that's putting my focus more
Mm-hmm.
on every day and what's happening in that time.
Yeah.
And it's something I've never had before. I've never felt it before. I've never achieved it before.
That's amazing.
And it's fucking pretty cool. But the amount of energy that I can get just from being grateful.
Yeah.
That Gary V guy that I tell you about every once in a while. I sent you a business thing and he was like, you guys that are fucking young. I was working in a liquor store when I was 36
Mm-hmm.
to try to alleviate some of that lifetime pressure that we feel, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody asked him, like, how do you have all this energy to do all this shit? Like, do you take Adderall? And she was like asking about this. She's like drinking coffee and she's asking like,
Yeah.
and he just looked at her and he's like, gratitude. And only at this point now, it was weird and profound to hear it, and it's enough to where it stuck with me,
Mm-hmm.
but it never hit like until you get to that point where you can extract something and apply it to something in your life that's meaningful to you, and it hits different, right? Like when you hear a lyric of a song and you're like, oh, that was a cool way to put that together.
Yeah.
Then you go through a similar thing and you hear that song and you're like, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
How did I never make that connection?
Right.
You just didn't have it yet. So I saw that video and he was just like, honestly, like gratitude. I'm just really grateful for everything.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds fucking stupid. A year ago, me would have been like, nah, all right, Gary, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's dumb as shit.
Yeah.
And then me now is like, dude, I felt that energy. I felt that well up where it's like, man.
And these are some things I feel like are like more obvious by understanding their more commonly felt opposites. Where if anyone who's gone through a depression knows that they feel really dog shit tired.
Oh, yeah. Like the lows are lows, the highs are highs. And
So
gratitude is the opposite of that.
if depression can bring you down, it makes sense that gratitude would bring you up.
Yeah. I always heard the thing that started making me practice more is that somebody said that you can't be grateful and upset at the same time.
Yeah.
So anytime you find yourself in one of those moods that's like, fuck, I am just mad, I'm pissed off, I'm annoyed, and I don't know why, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm mature enough to understand that I am it
Mm-hmm.
right now, and I want to fix it, but I don't have the tool.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the tool. To where, like, let me pick something out to be grateful for today.
Yeah.
But it's not as simple as lying to yourself. It's
Right.
it's back to belief, right? I have to know that I'm actually grateful for that.
Yeah.
Because you can say it, but I'm not less angry. I'm just
Right.
pretending to be grateful.
Right. Or you're just saying mentioning things that you know that you should be grateful for.
Or if I told someone that I was grateful for it, they would believe me,
Yeah.
but I don't believe it.
Right.
There's a fucking difference.
Yeah.
And it's unexplainable almost. And no one would know. If you're good at faking shit,
Right.
no one would know that you're not actually grateful for it.
Yeah.
And you might, in some mindsets, be grateful for that thing, but it's not powerful enough to turn the switch. But
I love that.
that's my most recent thing, man.
Nice.
Now I gotta make it. I gotta find out how to.
Actual thing.
Yeah, you gotta
Same.
do your relaxation thing, and I gotta find my fucking.
Yeah, yeah. It's a trip when it works and I can get there because it's just like I could have gotten like 5 hours of sleep the night before, and I do that maybe 30 minutes. It's like I got 10 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
It carries me through the day. Like it's insane. So I'm just like trying to like see if I can keep getting there, find out how, like, what I have to do to get there.
Yeah.
But cool.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
How long did we go? That one was fun. That one, like,
Yeah.
I still have more energy, but I have to go.